in the shadows. He'll send us in to find it.
126 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
All right, you guys, I have returned. I'm finally back, streaming on multiple platforms. It's been a long time. I got a lot of things to say. I'm really upset as to how I've come here. I took some fat L's the past week. My enemies have dealt a pretty lethal blow to my ego because I thought I was mostly careful with my speech. Granted, this is a channel for everybody. This is a show for everybody. And despite the heavy topics that we engage in here at the Watchfrogs, it wasn't that got me into trouble. It was criticism of Oliver Anthony, who goes by the fake name Oliver Anthony, the corny country singer, mocking him for his inauthentic persona that so many people have fallen for. That is likely what has gotten me in trouble with the censors. Also, mocking Eric July, making fun of arguably one of the worst comic books that has been released in quite some time. One of the worst. Unimaginably just horrible. Like, it's on the level of the Marvels movie. Like, it's that bad. Just a mess. They made a mess of things. They really have. And the fans of Eric July, the beta orbiters surrounding this guy, they reported me. They've continuously reported me and my Discord community. I'm pretty peeved about that, to be quite honest. And I'm kind of nervous, so I'm gonna drink. There's cops outside my house for some reason. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna get doxxed. Hopefully not. But or swatted. We'll see. It's like I've already doxed myself, so it's like, oh, okay. What else? So there are multiple ways now to support the channel, to support the show. Links in the description, of course. I'm gonna wait for everybody to pile in. Let me see. What's up with all these links here? Yeah, we're everywhere. We're live, guys. We're live on Rumble. We're live on YouTube, twitch.tv. Let me go to this content producer thingy so I can change it to, whoops, video producer. Let me see. How do I edit this? Because it says like I'm broadcasting something, and I don't want people to think that I am, let me see. I'm currently broadcasting. Hold up one second. I'm going to go to my channel really quick and see what's going on. It is a Friday. It's somewhat early, but yeah, it says I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Let me edit this. Okay, that's how I edit it. Great. I apologize for pretending that I'm, let's see, just chatting. There we go. It's more like it. It's more like it. All right. And let me see. Can I pop out this chat? Oh, no. Where did my comments go? All right. That's really upsetting me. Pop out. Cool beans. All right. Just going to leave that there for now. I'll cycle through these little bastards in a moment. But, yeah, that's the gist of it, you guys. that's the gist of why I was not able to stream last week. Um, yeah, the Oliver Anthony people, they came after me. They came after me, and I was censored heavily. They struck down 2 of my videos. I was able to communicate with somebody at YouTube and get one of those streams reinstated. It was pretty scary, man. It's pretty scary because, 3 strikes and you're out. It's like California, 3 strikes and you're done. Your life is over. So I have one on the channel. Another one was removed, and that's fantastic. It's exactly what I needed. And I was talking about major blow to my ego, major blow just right here to the heart. I had to remove and delete all of the live videos on YouTube. And just to be safe, I removed them on all the other platforms. And moving forward, I'm not going to change the style or the type of content that I engage in. I'm not going to not speak about specific topics that are taboo and dangerous to, tread into. And one of those being Eric July's really terrible comic book, or Oliver Anthony's inauthentic persona. I'm not going to not talk about these things. And I'm not afraid of Eric July or the beta orbiters that are reporting me and reporting my Discord community. By the way, I'm going to be updating here. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw a link in the comment section, and hopefully everybody can see it. Give me one moment, you guys. I'm looking for it. All right, so right now I'm on... Yeah, I'm going to be creating an invite. Your link will never expire. This is very cool. It's exactly what I want. So yeah, I'm going to update my future links with the Discord community, so you guys can engage with it. You guys can join and all that good shit. I didn't mean to say that. I'm trying to be really clean, Trying to be really clean and not say any potty words. But I can't help myself. It's just who I am. I swear a lot. I'm a regular dude. I'm at a bar, with the fellas. We're just speaking honestly. We're saying things we would never say in front of our own mothers. But YouTube, like, again, I'm trying to be a kinder, more gentler Giovanni. And I'm gonna take into account the fragile emotions of these ripitards. I know that they're very sensitive guys. They're very sensitive about their precious comic book. Let me just say this. There's a lot of things that I love and care about. I love puppetry. I like video games. I like the Second Amendment. I like free speech. I'm really interested in political stuff. If someone doesn't like any of those things, and they're very aggressive about their opinions, about the things that I care about, and they're just antagonistic, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't really care. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't offend me. It's not going to make me not love puppetry or the Second Amendment or nerdy stuff or electrical related stuff. I'm just going to keep on trucking. Plain and simple. And we're drinking wine. I have not finished this bottle. This bottle right here. This, what is this called? This Hunter's Oak 2013. I believe it's from California. So, yeah, we're going to finish that tonight. So, yeah, say what's up. Say hi. There's a handful of topics that we're going to be getting into. It's going to be a lot of fun. And just because I'm doing a show later in the week, it does not mean I'm not going to do one on Tuesday. We are going to be streaming once again on all these platforms. Whoops. Dude, I have no idea what I'm doing here with this Facebook stuff. It's pretty frightening, man. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and dive into the show. I got to get back into the flow of things because I've just been so emotional about what happened. I've been so upset about what happened, what transpired. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. It put a real sour taste in my mouth. How YouTube handled my strikes, and just the fact that the kind of people that are doing it, that are engaged in that behavior, there should be people that are like, these are people that profess their affinity for free speech, for open inquiry, for dialogue, for criticisms. These channels, people like Eric July, the Yellow Flash, Geeks and Gamers, and all, and, you know, Nina Stupidity, all these people have made a career off of just being absolutely ruthless and cruel to people like Brie Larson, to people like Rachel Ziegler, to the executives at Disney, and so on and so forth. And that's their right. But by the way, I don't even necessarily disagree with the majority of their opinions. See, that's what trips me up. I'm not even in disagreement with what they're saying or what they're doing. But when someone like myself, or people like Dick Masterson or Vito Gesualdi, give legitimate criticisms to Eric July regarding his terrible comic book, they can't handle it. They send us threats. They file false DMCA claims. They engage in horrific behavior. They invade our Discords and mass report us for things we didn't even do. That's a problem. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Say hi. By the way, you're more than welcome to support us on Locals. It's been set up properly this time, and it's my own personal Locals page. Subscribestar. It's been updated. It's all current. And of course, I'm including a Cash App link in the description. So again, we got to get back to the flow of this. So we are going to go ahead and let's just get into the news really quick. The political news, not much is going on, but Americans don't want to fight anymore for their country, myself included. Before we get into this article, I just want to say something really quick. I'm not a patriot anymore. Supporting this country just seems like a fool's errand. The regime, the illegitimate regime, detests people like myself. And the crime that I committed was supporting President Donald Trump and voting for him twice. I enthusiastically supported him. I think he's hilarious. I think his 2016 victory was one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And one of the most magical moments of my entire life up until this point in 2023 was witnessing his crushing defeat against Hillary Clinton. It gave me, it was like, it gave me this feeling of like, we're going to make it. Things are going to be okay. And the regime's response was anger, animus, fear, jealousy, and vindictiveness towards people like myself. And they punished us for what we did in 2016. Me more than others, because I was largely responsible. Well, not largely responsible, but I was partially responsible for a lot of the posts that went viral that helped propel President Trump into the White House. You know, the whole, he was memed into the White House. There's a lot of validity to that. He didn't really have a ground game. He had massive presence on the world stage. He had a massive presence in the media because he was just everything about him was newsworthy. But on the internet, which is where it mattered the most, people like myself were telling a different story about President Trump, showing a funnier, lighthearted side about the president and his supporters. And because of that specific behavior, because of these activities that we engaged in, the regime punished us. And especially in 2020, they unleashed the pandemic, and they did all those horrible things. They violated our constitutional and human rights. And right now, in 2023, it's been a few years since that dreadful night in November in 2020 when the election results were just magically reversed. They destroyed the economy, and all the progress that was made has been essentially wiped out. And we're back to square one. This is our fault, seemingly, because we embarrassed the most wealthiest, powerful politicians in all of human history. We showed them our butts and laughed in their face, but it does appear that they're getting the last laugh. To fight for that, never. So let's hear what other Americans have to say. So this is from from Newsweek. A majority of American adults would not be willing to serve in the military were the U.S. to enter into a major war, recent polling has found, while public confidence in the armed forces appears to be waning. I wonder why. The figures come as all branches of the armed forces have in recent years struggled to meet their recruitment targets, suggesting a growing apathy towards a career of military service. I think it goes beyond apathy at this point. We're way past apathy. Let's see. In 2023, the Army and Air Force fell short of the recruitment of their respective goals by around 10,000 recruits, while the Navy was under by 6,000. Since 1987, the number of active duty personnel has fallen by 39%. That is steep. Experts say that such shortfalls are worrisome in an increasingly volatile global picture, with American leadership unsure when it will next have to bring its full military force to bear. Why not give peace a chance? Why not give diplomacy a chance and not gamble with the lives of young men and women? I mean, because of people like myself and other content creators and influencers in this space, speaking honestly about the regime's horrific treatment of people such as myself, people don't want to fight for this. Why would someone like me want to fight for this country? I would literally be fighting for it in propping up my own subjugation, my own mistreatment at the hands of my own government that I pay taxes to. At gunpoint, by the way. We have strike groups, aircraft carriers, with the Marine Expeditionary Unit outside Israel now. Justin Henderson, a former transport operator for the U.S. Marines turned military recruiter, told Newsweek, we're funding 2 wars, but we're actually boots on the ground, drones above Gaza. So we're already involved there. And we're not sure what's happening in Taiwan. So this is a very tumultuous time for us, because we don't know what's going to happen. How much it matters depends on what kind of people you're talking about and which bit you're not getting. Tom Shigart, a senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security and a former Navy attack submarine commander, told Newsweek, while infantry recruits could be trained in a matter of weeks, the same was not true for other roles. Let's say the Navy misses recruiting targets for an extended period and wasn't able to bring on the people that it needs to manage submarines and fly its airplanes. If you end up in a major conflict, it's going to take time to train those people, he said. Experts say, though, that there is a complex mix of factors contributing to the military's recruitment issues, including adapting its messaging to a younger target generation, more engrossed in modern technology and stories of supposed woke marketing, hurting recruitment, as well as an economic outlook that is proving a challenging environment for those efforts. We are actively making efforts to ensure the military remains a viable and productive career choice for a majority of people, Commander Nicole Schwegman, a Department of Defense spokesperson, told Newsweek when asked to comment a general shift. A poll by Research Institute, Echelon Insights of 1,000 likely voters, conducted between October 23rd and 26th, found that 72% of those asked would not be willing to volunteer to serve in the armed forces. Were America to enter into a major conflict, compare with 21% who would. I want to know who these people are. Why would you do that to yourself? The remainder were unsure. The poll was conducted after Hamas led an unprecedented militant attack on Israel on October 7th. So long days, weeks after the attack, many people are saying, nah, we're not going to go and fight and die for Israel. It's a fool's... Let me just give you guys some life lessons here. It is foolish and silly to fight other people's conflicts, to fight other people's battles. Even worse, to fight another nation's battles. To involve yourself in the affairs of other people is ridiculous. And that's going to be somewhat the theme of the show tonight. We're going to be talking a lot about that. Again, this is about me. This is about us. This is about the state of the country. A lot of people are just fed up. We're not doing this anymore. I hope everyone's having a lovely Friday and they have an even better weekend. And I can't wait to stream the week of Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's got fun plans, man. All right. What do we got? All right. So it's not much political stuff here, so let's keep this short. New York City parent-teacher groups promoted pro-Palestinian student walkout. Kids yelled F the chosen people. A Brooklyn Parent Advisory Board promoted and organized a student walkout for Palestinians this week, a clear violation of state regulations, outraged critics told the Post. The Community Education Council for District 14, which covers ultra-liberal Williamsburg in Greenpoint used its platform to encourage the 700 students protests involving 100 schools and even shared resources, including anti-Semitic signs proclaiming from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Yeah, we don't really need to go much further, but this is this whole thing, this whole fiasco. Again, I'm not going to dive into who's wrong and who's right. That's boring. Who cares? But the response from this nation, very interesting, very, very telling. See, here's what really trips me up. The pro-Gaza group, they're and even the pro-Israel group, both of these groups overall are far left and democratic. They're pro-democrat, right? And we're seeing bigotry, racism, hostility, and in some cases even violence and contentious confrontations on display, on video, in 4K, etc. And you got pro-Gaza people duking it out with pro-Israel people, and these groups vote the same way. They are neighbors, essentially. They're a part of the professional class. They're a part of the so-called victim class. You know, the professional victim class. And one person put it really greatly. The pro-Gaza individuals, they see the chosen types, the Israeli types, the pro-Israel group, they see them as white. They see them as oppressors. Many of them are very successful, high IQ, very intelligent, overly educated in my estimation. And that group doesn't like to consider themselves white unless it's convenient for them under certain circumstances. Jon Stewart comes to mind. He says that people like himself and, the BIPOC community should unite against whitey. But in other instances, he says that he's, like a boring white dude. So it kind of trips me up, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm an idiot. But I notice these things and I witness these things. And apparently so does Elon Musk. I don't have his tweet pulled up, but there's some other insights on this matter that are absolutely worth looking into. So if I go to my bookmarks really quick, and I want to show something to you guys. I want to read something to you. This is from Scott Adams. He had a really, really fantastic take on this whole conflict. And again, it doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. I'm not going to get into the history and all that crap. So it's from Scott Adams. He writes, men on average are protectors and hunters. Women on average are nurturers. When the nurturers gains sufficient political power, the system falls apart because the ratio of protecting to nurturing gets out of whack. That's where we are. Western women protesting in favor of the Palestinian people is a perfect example. The nurturers don't know how to protect themselves or anyone else. Who favors the weak on crime district attorneys and weak border security? Mostly women and the men they control, Democrat men. We'd all be better off if men abstained from abortion law decisions and women abstained from national defense decisions. This opinion recognizes that no individual is an average man or woman. Elijah Schaefer coming in. False. Abortion laws are about protecting babies. We aren't staying out of that one. Are you smarter or more moral than women? Scott Adams asks. That's a fantastic question. The pro-choice, pro-life arguments have been spiraling out of control, and we're at a point now where it's abundantly clear that the pro-choicers won in the culture war. I mean, even a lot of people on the right are throwing their hands up, and it's just like, look, we can't compete. But we're not going to detract from the initial point. This is some real shit. This is some real stuff, guys. All right, so Trump plotting massive migrant sweeps, mega detention camps if elected president. Let's see, Whiskey Hanalta, even Burr's heli instructor can't stand him anymore. Oh, really? We're going to get into Bill Burr, dude. We're going to get into Bill Burr. I got quite a lot to say about him, and I got quite a lot to say about the situation, and he responded by the way. He responded to it, and I got the clip pulled up. We're ready to rock and roll, so hang tight. All right, so Trump plotting massive migrant sweeps, mega detention camps, if elected, report. Unbelievably based, even more of a reason to support him. However, it might be completely futile to prop up those things because the migrants are fed up migrants who trek thousands of miles to U.S. already heading home. American dream doesn't exist. Oh, how sad. Some Venezuelan migrants who trek thousands of miles to the U.S. in search of a better life are so disheartened. They say they're already heading back home. Michael Castillon, 39, told the Chicago Tribune he has had enough after he and his wife and teenage stepdaughter spent 5 months sleeping either in a police precinct or a crowded city shelter in the now brutally cold, windy city. He's also been unable to secure a job permit or enroll his daughter in a local school. Two of the main reasons, things they thought would bring a better life in the U.S. Unbelievably based. By the way, that's probably on purpose. It's abundantly clear people in Chicago don't want them there. Chicago, far left, very liberal. They're just very antagonistic and hostile towards illegal aliens. Again, I'm not saying anything mean or offensive. I'm just saying that's how it is. All right, hold on. We got a couple more comments over here on Rumble. Indel writes, when women want to use abortion as birth control at a taxpayer's expense, yeah, it's pretty stupid. Look, I'm against the state paying for their own nonsense, right? I don't want the state getting involved. I don't want corporations getting involved. But again, if a woman, a stupid, undesirable woman, wants to terminate the life of her child, it's got nothing to do with me, man. Personally, on a personal level, God is my witness. I am pro-life. I'm not going to get involved with a woman that thinks it's okay to terminate the life of my child. I'm against it. I'm pro-abortion when it comes to leftoids. Whiskey, that's pretty based. And I'm kind of in that camp too. Yeah, like if stupid, undesirable people want to engage in this, it's got nothing to do with me. You know, abortion is like country music. If you don't like something, you can ignore it. And fellas, like, just stay away from this topic. I would stay away from it altogether, pro-life or pro-choice. Just let the women do whatever they want to do. But when it comes time to fall in love, get married, plan your own family, you better be doing it with somebody who's aligned with your worldview, and you better learn what the other person's worldview is pretty quickly on, you know, when getting to know them. Because you don't want to be a year, 6 months, 2 years, whatever, into a relationship, and then you find out that at one point in time, she got pregnant, didn't tell you, terminated the life of your kid that you wanted. Ohio is MAGA. It is MAGA country. But those questions on the ballot, on those ballots about weed and about abortion, they passed overwhelmingly, convincingly. No shenanigans involved. President Trump is the only Republican candidate that has been very laissez-faire about abortion, which is the right move. Illegals cost Americans $450 billion so far. Yeah, it's probably true. Let's just read a little bit more of this. All right. So, the American dream doesn't exist anymore. Castillon told the paper on the eve of his family's departure, "There's nothing here for us." Yeah, good. We just want to be home. Yeah, where you belong. Castillon told the Tribune of the South American country he earlier fled, "If we're going to be sleeping in the streets here, we'd rather be sleeping in the streets over there." Yeah, that sounds like a smart idea. Speaking of planning your family, I mean, you have a kid. Why are you having a kid? Why are you dealing with this woman? You know, if you're struggling. More than 20,000 migrants have made their way to Chicago since 2022, when Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott began loading them onto buses and shipping them off to sanctuary cities. Unbelievably based. And the right thing to do. Again, they're sanctuary cities. It's in the name. Many of them ended up sleeping at O'Hare International Airport. Dude, imagine the smell at that airport. Gross. Fed up with the lack of housing and job opportunities, Castillon eventually followed in the footsteps of other disillusioned asylum seekers. What asylum? Asylum from what? Asylum from what? And turned to Catholic Charities to obtain plane tickets for his family to travel to Texas. From there, they will somehow find a way to return to their native Venezuela. He said, "How many more months of living in the street will it take? No more. It's better than it's better that I just leave, he said. At least I have my mother back home. Yeah, you have your family there and you fucking left them. He said of the South American nation he fled earlier this year. Castellón and his family were among numerous disheartened asylum seekers who have decided to leave Chicago in recent weeks as the weather in the Windy City has grown colder and wetter, the paper found. Some suggested they had been drawn to Chicago after being wrongly led to believe that they could be swiftly granted asylum status and a work permit, paving the way for a better life. You know, the things that they want, they want housing, they want food, they want good schools, they want a job. Let me tell these people from all over the world something. Americans want those things too, and they don't get them. A lot of illegal aliens do. They get the free housing, they get the free medical care, they get the free schooling, they get free college, they get free everything. They don't even got to pay taxes because they get paid under the table and they keep all their money. Just the entitlement is astounding here. The entitlement on display, disgusting. All right, we got some more comments here. Let me read this stuff really quick. Trailer parks are especially hit hard. I know, right? Let's see. Housing is expensive mainly because of environmental laws restricting builds and the cost of materials. So the supply is short, which raised the cost. Illegals came here for the dream. I know, right? It's pretty funny. Trailer trash no longer speaks English. Oh, okay. Whoa, I disavow this hate in the comments. Yeah, whatever floats your goat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, just go back to where you came from, you know? Like, there's nothing here for you. There's nothing here for a lot of us. You know, you're wasting your time. You're endangering your family. He came with I guess, his wife and a child. You know, it's really dangerous. Chicago is really dangerous. These places, and again, to respond to housing is expensive mainly because of environmental laws, that's not necessarily true. It's actually more simple than that. I mean, that could be one of them. That could be one of the reasons. One of the few reasons, or one of the many reasons, but housing is mostly expensive for the same reason that wages aren't going up along with inflation. It's because of supply and demand. When you flood the country with tens of millions of people, all of them, you know, trying to get free housing, some of them will, and then they're competing with people like myself or other working class individuals trying to buy a home, that's going to drive the prices up. When there's more demand than supply, that just makes something more valuable. That makes something more costly. There's very few homes and tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people that want them. And the people who are selling or renting, they can drive the prices up and make a pretty penny. I was telling somebody, you know, before all this insanity, there was this condo close to my house, and I could have bought it for like $60,000. It was 2-bedroom. It's right by the highway, about 15, 20 minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip. And instead of that, I bought a stupid car prior that I had payments and shit on. And it was a disastrous financial decision. And I regret not purchasing that property because that $60,000 condo is now worth like $160,000. All right, so what do we got? Mass deportation, great again. Thank you, Whiskey. Let's see, Indel. That and the sudden influx of okay, so yeah. Oh, you're agreeing with me, my man. Oh, okay. Tacos and beer. What's up, bro? Yeah, well, I just read that comment. Sorry, there's a delay. All right, well, yeah, so they're self-deporting, you guys. This is fantastic news. Not all of them. I think the military-aged males that are here, they can probably hang on a little bit longer because they don't got to worry about a little kid. Look at this dude. That looks like an iPhone, bro. I don't even got an iPhone. Yo, what's up, man? What's going on here? Look at all these people crying. Yad Belis, Malero, second from the left, 16 says goodbye to a friend as Malero and her family of 5 wait to leave a Chicago police station and head to a Greyhound bus station. Bro, dude, just be glad. Just be thankful that you were living in a police station. Most Americans live under the bridge. Live in the sewers. Literally out here in Las Vegas, they're living underneath these sewer systems. Oh, look at them cry. Oh, just no sympathy, guys. No sympathy. All right, let's wrap this up. Paul, So just 14% of voters say they're better off with Joe Biden in office. Only 14%? All right, so everybody else. So there's a big chunk of those people that voted for this insanity. I want apologies. I want you to admit you were wrong. And I got no sympathy for you guys. You know, I just talked a little bit about finances, housing, food, medicine, all that stuff. And I'm going to start making videos independent of the streams and kind of go like react to some of the, you know, these goofy trends on TikTok and all these bad advice type videos and these fake gurus and all that. I'm going to be responding to it, but I'll just say this. I'm kind of sour on talking politics in the real world and mostly online. So now we're going to be diving into some fun stuff too, but I'll just say this. If I'm out in the real world and I'm like at a bar, at a party, you know, maybe I'm at a little event and someone starts complaining to me about finances, about not getting ahead in life, about their horrible salary, their horrible wage, I'm going to say this. Well, before I even entertain anything that they said, well, how did you vote? You can't afford a house? You're in debt? You're about to lose your job? Maybe you were laid off? How did you vote? Oh, you're worried about you being drafted into Joe Biden's and the Democrats' war, another Democrat war? How'd you vote? And if they voted like dorks, I got nothing to say to you. I'm going to say bye. I'm not interested in this conversation. You made horrible decisions. You should have known better. People just know too much. And now no one wants to talk about politics. I use my Facebook as like a litmus test, right? I use my Facebook to kind of get a sense of, you know, where people are at in the real world. Prior to 2020, all anybody wanted to do was talk about politics and Orange Man. And now no one wants to talk about it. But everybody knows shit's fucked up. Look at this. Only 14% of voters say they're better off with Joe Biden in office. Everyone knows it. Everyone's thinking it. But some people are responsible for this. And some of them are your neighbors, your family members. Dude, I was acute. Dude, man, the things that the things that I went through because of the regime and the lying press. I was falsely accused of being responsible for people's deaths. I lost my constitutional and human rights. I was targeted by this regime. I was censored by mega corporations. My lawful speech censored. It's real stuff, man. There's real world consequences to this. And you know what? Because of people's horrible because of how easy it is to influence people with money, there's going to be a handful of people in certain states that are going to try to sway the election in a certain direction, even if it's to their own detriment, because of the propaganda that we're faced with, that we're bombarded with, about Orange Man, about imaginary fascism, so on and so forth. There's people that will sell us out, even if it's to their own detriment. People like that have existed in all of human history. And they're at the election departments. They're clerks in government. They're public education teachers. They're public sector union goons. They are our enemies. They exist in large quantities, and many of them would be more than willing to sell us out for a few extra dollars. Illegals are getting existing housing before many U.S. citizens. That's true, Indel. Mouths to feed. Another study showed that 14% of the U.S. population is mentally R-worded. Yeah. All right, let's see. Hopefully we can start getting into the fun stuff. All right, here we go. We got to get into this Bill Burr situation. So Bill Burr, wife Nia, seems to flip off Trump. By the way, she did do this. It is confirmed by Bill Burr himself. Yeah. Look at this. Dude, get your fat wife under control, bro. Why are you letting this woman embarrass you like this? Look at him just sitting there like a little cuck, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. And then there's his trashy wife, Nia, his ghetto wife, just flipping off the President Trump. So he comes out like a boss. You know, hold on, let me see if I can play this. Hold on, I gotta lower this really quick, because there might be copyright music. So President Trump comes out, you know, with Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson, Dana White, you know, coming out like the conservative Avengers to, you know, some badass rock music, some boomer rock. And the crowd goes wild, of course. It's a UFC event. UFC, I don't want to say wouldn't exist without President Trump, but UFC is here because of President Trump's massive contributions to the organization. So yeah, his fat wife, this crazy woman, flips him off. And you know what? Again, like I'm not speculating here. I'm not making claims that are untrue. She did this, and I'll say this. I'll say this to I'm talking to the fellas right now. When you're in a relationship, you're married, got a long-term girlfriend or whatever, even a short-term girlfriend, you just met someone, you're dating them. You got to keep them under control. I'm not saying control their behavior or anything like that, but like, there's got to be some etiquette when you're out in public, because a stupid woman like Nia would flip off a random man, someone that may have slighted her in the past or upset her. He's going to flip off the man, and then some stuff might happen. A lot of stupid women with loud mouths have gotten good men into really horrible situations. So make sure you don't date a Nia. Don't date anybody like Nia. Don't give people like Nia a chance. And if you're going to give a woman like Nia a chance, only for one night and not in public, because she's going to embarrass you. I'll be damned if I'm embarrassed by some woman that I'm dating. Hold on, let's see. Read some of these. This dude is young for years. It has been okay for people to say that white Southerners were stupid, build their own family members, etc. Nobody better than I. I'm out here to make fun of everyone else. I gotta admit, I did the same thing if Biden showed up, so I can't really say much. She ended Bill's career. It's all about her. Left my ass. I know, dude. It gets better, and I'm gonna explain because there's some. I'm gonna get to it. So we got Bill Burr's response. Dude, the dude responded, and it's really, really interesting. And we can talk about this for a little bit, and it's a minute long, so bear with me. All right, here we go.
Big boy stuff, but don't come back and start crying.
Bill Burr here on the Rich Eisen Show. I love.
That's like those Trump guys. They're always going like, you snowflakes, F your feelings and all of that. And then you make fun of Trump. They're like, oh my God, it's so disrespectful. It's like you're saying F Joe Biden. It's like you can't have it both ways. So that's my thing as a Pats fan, okay?
Yeah.
It's just like if you're doing it too, quit your crying. Quit your crying. I mean, you know.
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay? The guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention. My favorite thing was when Trump was going, thank you. Thank you. You know what it reminded me of? When OJ got acquitted. Remember that? When he's going, thank you. Like, I can't believe I'm getting off of this. Thank you. Thank you. He's another guy. Donald Trump. He's getting the Michigan treatment. Do you know how many people you could accuse of that? Falsifying your assets for what they're really worth?
Right.
Like, how come they're not going after the banks? I can just walk into a bank and be like, my house is worth $5 trillion. Can I have a $30 million loan? Okay.
My only pushback on that story is you said your wife gave him the finger. It was more than one, I think I saw, right?
It was dual.
It was
dual. We'll have to go. We'll have to go to New York for the tape and take 10 minutes. Yeah.
After further review.
No, she's hilarious.
I've met you.
He's big boy.
What a cuck, dude. So yeah, Jack Posobiec, again, I don't really got issues with him, but this is a dishonest engagement farming. Watch how Bill Burr dodges the question about Trump. No, he didn't dodge anything. Like, he answered it and he stood by his wife, which is technically what you're supposed to do when you're married. So I can't really fault him there, but he said some things and it really made me think, you know, like it was a thought-provoking comment. It's a minute long. And here's what I see. Yeah. So of course I write the watchfrog agent. That's who I am on Twitter. I dislike Bill Burr. Dude is a cuck, but he didn't dodge anything. Let's just be honest here, eh? He's not funny anymore. Okay. So that's not really substantive, but here, let me just say this. So us Trump dudes, us MAGA bros, whatever, people on the right, they'll throw around snowflake, you're whiny, you're a baby, you know, get over it, F your feelings, all that stuff. But then when somebody like Nia comes around and then she flips off President Trump during a pretty epic moment, you know, people like myself, like, yeah, it kind of upset me. I don't like to see people disrespect my president. I love my president. But I thought about what Bill Burr said. If you're going to be calling people snowflakes, you can't be upset when someone, you know, you can scream F Joe Biden. You can't be crying when somebody does it to President Trump. And that is a fair point. However, I thought really hard about that. Why is it? Because I always excused people defending President Trump enthusiastically. And there's a good reason for why I did that. President Trump is one of the most lied about human beings in all of American history. I have yet to see genuinely honest reporting from the legacy media, from corporate America. Nobody is telling the truth about President Trump. So I feel like it's important for someone like myself or other individuals to step up to the plate and to defend him. People love President Trump, and they're going to defend their president because he's just so lied about. A great example, the Jussie Smollett hate hoax. Jussie Smollett's intention was to spread blood libel against my people and, of course, against my president. And I enthusiastically supported President Trump because I knew it in my heart, I knew it in my bones that Jussie Smollett was a liar. I'm not going to take that. Minutes after that TMZ story broke, I was like, Jussie Smollett is a liar. This literally didn't happen. They're trying to hurt us. They're trying to hurt the president, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I've done that so often. It's like instinctual. I just have to defend my president because I'm so fucking sick of it. And like, but on the real though, if someone is like on Twitter or on Facebook, like, I hate Trump. I don't like Trump because he's fat and his hair's stupid and he's orange, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to argue with him or anything like that. I just literally don't care. But when somebody like, Nathan Phillips, CNN, Ilhan Omar, Ben Shapiro, all these cucks, they come out and they say that those Catholic boys were beating up Nathan Phillips. They were saying really hateful stuff and that Trump encouraged them. And then, of course, the evidence comes out. And those kids were literally just physically standing there saying and doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm going to defend my president and I'm going to defend those kids. And I make no apologies for it. And when I say fuck Joe Biden, when people say fuck Joe Biden, it's funny. It's edgy. It's like, like kind of daring and shit because Joe Biden is the polar opposite of President Trump. He's one of the most protected politicians in all of American history. He's almost more protected than Obama. The whole facade of Obama is that he was like perfect and angelic and he commanded an excellent economy. I was a young kid. I was a young teenager during Obama's America. And I voted for the prick once. And I never saw any of the benefits of his administration, of his regime. All I remember were hiring freezes, stagnant wages, war, conflict, friends coming home from the war in coffins. That is what I remember. I remember President Trump and his and Mike Obama just shitting on soldiers, shitting on the vets, saying America's done. We got to take a step back and we're not exceptional anymore. And along comes President Trump, selling a completely different narrative, showing us a different path, showing us a different future and what Americans can be. And a lot of Americans are enthusiastically supporting Trump in this incident because they're just like, look, Trump didn't pull his pants down and take a shit on us. Trump didn't ship our jobs over to Mexico and China and Vietnam. President Trump seems to love us. So they're going to, fight for him. And so will I. But mostly because I just don't like people lying. There's ways to make fun of Trump. I like to make fun of Trump, but this ain't it. And his behavior is disgusting and trashy. And I'm not just talking about it from like a political angle, but like as like a dating angle. Keep your fucking women under control. Keep your girlfriend, keep your wife under control. Don't make her make a fool out of you. I wouldn't go out and start fights and start arguments and endanger my significant other because of my own stupidity. I'm too smart and mature for that. And I would hope my significant other extends me that courtesy because I'm not interested in getting into a fight because she can't keep her fucking mouth shut or hold back her stupid opinions about a political figure. Let me read some of these comments. A lot of you guys are chiming in. Whew, shit. Politics used to be personal that you kept to yourself. Then the hive mind showed up. Yeah, amen to that. No kidding. Remember when a man never asked another man who he voted for? Dude, I don't think I've ever asked a single person who they voted for until like after the whole Trump phenomena. Other people would confess to me and say, hey, dude, like I voted for him. Like, you're right, but not really. I mean, now I do. I ask people, you know, if they're gonna cry to me about their finances, I'm like, well, how did you vote? Unless they were good friends. Yeah, my friends always. I always text my friends. I'm like, yo, we gotta go out and vote. We gotta go out and, you know, turn up for Orange Man. That was like asking at a bar, hey, mister, can I see your penis? Yeah, probably. Yeah, essentially. Asking a lady her age. Yeah, don't ask a lady her age, man. It's not a good idea. Haha, I left my pants in San Francisco. Thank you, Lindell. Let's see. I voted for Kanye too. Trump worked his butt off to straighten out the VA. He did, man. He did. The outsider. Trump was a MSM darling till he decided to run. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that for sure. So yeah, Bill Burr, disappointing. He comes out here to Vegas a lot, and you know he's had some really great stand-ups. The guy's a fantastic actor, but like, holy shit, dude. You know, I don't even care if. Hold up. She made. You guys are gonna have to take my word for it, but let me see if I can find it. I just want to give you an insight as to what Nia really believes. Nia. Shit. What's her name? Nia. Let me type this out. Yeah, because she said some really nasty stuff about President Trump. Oh man, where is it? Oh, Laura Loomer, did you find it? Man, people are making fun of Laura Loomer. I think she's all right. I like her a lot. Okay. All right, so you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. But Laura Loomer or somebody else, they showed a screenshot of Nia. She said, Lindell, thank you for the sub, man. I super appreciate it. Thank you. Nia said that she hopes President Trump. I'm kind of censoring myself, but you'll get the gist. Nia says she hopes President Trump gets very, very sick with an illness of significant relevance that resulted in the elimination of our constitutional and human rights. What a nasty woman. What a nasty thing to say. Like, I don't like Bill Burr. I don't like his stupid wife. But you're not going to hear me say, I hope they fall ill. I hope that kind of misfortune, befalls them. That's just a really terrible thing to say. Yeah, he's not a shoe size IQ. He's on it. Let's see. This young man brings up some very good points. Thank you, Lindell. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm reading the chat in the names on a mini display. So if I mispronounce your name, that's why. I apologize. And maybe I'm dyslexic. All right. Well, it's enough of that Bill Burr stuff. Let's make fun of Will Smith, Supreme Cuck. So Will Smith denies claims, and I'm gonna have a larger point, and you guys are gonna trip out. This is gonna be some raw stuff, man. You're not gonna hear these opinions anywhere else. This is like legit dissident, content right here. So Will Smith denies claim he had a bedroom fun with Dwayne Martin. Unequivocally false. Really interesting that Will Smith would respond to this claim. Will Smith representative is slamming a rumor that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air alum had bedroom fun with fellow actor Dwayne Martin in a dressing room years ago. This story is completely fabricated, and the claim is unequivocally false. A representative for Will Smith, 55, told TMZ on Tuesday. Martin, 58, appeared in the Smith-led 90s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the role of Dr. Martin for one episode, and then playing one of Smith's poker friends in season 4. Bill had to get the wife's blessings on new material, walking a type. I know, right? Dude, could you imagine if he goes to her? If he goes to her, let's say earns this up. Don't apologize, dude. Oh, no, it's not. I'm not saying I'm sorry because I think I'm hurting your feelings. But in the event that I am, I just want to let people know it's like I'm not doing it on purpose. So yeah. She drank the MSN BS like many others. Yeah. Okay, so let me just let's just look at the claim here, and I have an overall. I got a pretty interesting take on this matter, but yeah. So Shannon Sharpie's burner. Yo, Will Smith former assistant said he caught Will Smith having intercourse with Dwayne Martin. Let's just listen to what he has got to say. Where's my cursor?
I, when I walked in on. Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Martin. Him and Dwayne Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where is this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too, so I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him, murder. There was murder in there.
Dude, can you imagine just like, you get discovered doing something you shouldn't be doing, and it's just like, well, what did you see? Like, bro, it was murder. Straight up murder in that room. Dude, let me just say this. Here, because again, I see a situation like this, and I like to look at things completely differently from everybody else, because I feel like that will lead me closer to the truth. A long time ago, a few years ago, there was this young urban actor, young BIPOC actor. I know he's black, but I try to avoid saying that because I don't want to get accused of I don't want to get reported. So this BIPOC actor, Orlando Brown, I believe that was his name. He comes out, in my opinion, credibly accuses Will Smith of victimizing him when he was a child actor. Allegedly, or I don't want to get sued, but allegedly Orlando Brown, a popular child actor, says Will Smith did horrible things to him, if you catch my drift. Really nasty stuff. Orlando Brown went crazy. Orlando Brown abuses substances. He's not well. Likely because of what Will Smith did to him, allegedly in a video game, am I right? Will Smith never denied it. Will Smith never said anything about it. No representative came forward. Everybody was just really, really quiet about it. You didn't hear about this. But we have this embarrassing story about Will Smith taking it in the bum. When I was a little boy, when I was a young child, I loved Will Smith. I wanted to be a hero just like him, the way that he was depicted. I looked up to him. And I write screenplays, and, just like Will Smith was like a big part of my life in that, because when I was young, we didn't have smartphones. All the media was on TV and it was in the movie theaters for the most part. And when video games became good, like Nintendo 64 and beyond, that was all I consumed. And obviously music, but yeah, music. I loved Will Smith. I had Big Willie Style. That was like one of my favorite albums. And this is who he is now, being credibly accused of taking it in the bum and taking advantage of Orlando Brown. But only one of these things he denied, enthusiastically, of course. I think both of these things are true. In my opinion, both of these things appear to be true. Will Smith ain't right. Will Smith's got a weird life, man. And I don't like to comment on another man's life, another man's, bedroom stuff. However, he's a public figure. And this guy wants to come out and take cheap shots at Trump. You're fair game to me, man. And I'm not necessarily a Hollywood insider, but, I'm within proximity to the point where I think my opinion might hold a little bit of weight. Just a little bit. All right, let me read some of these comments. Will is Hollywood. Whatever Will did will no surprise us, and he's not important enough to care about. But it is kind of, dude, it's hilarious. That's really why I want to do it. This is fucking funny. Process first, I know, right? Let's say I heard a lot of rappers suck dick to get access to the world stage. LOL, true. A black Kevin Spacey. Oh, dude, I don't think Kevin Spacey was doing the nasty stuff, but he did have like a stable of little boy whores. That's for sure. And for whatever reason, a lot of them just mysteriously died. They ended themselves. I don't know what that's about. True. Put yourself out there and keep the rewards and reap the rewards. Yeah, thank you. All right. So we got to move on. What other pop culture stuff do we got going on? Christopher Nolan says, Buy Oppenheimer on Blu-ray so no evil streaming service can come steal it from you. Here. We put a lot of care into home releases. Yeah, I'm all about the physical media movement, the preservation movement. Like at home, I have very rare art that's like pro-Trump and also anti-Trump. I have these two unique comic books. One of them was like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's comic book, and I also have a comic book that I reviewed here on the channel a while ago. I'll have to probably bring it out again, but yeah, it was about January 6th, and I just want to preserve it because of the lunacy that exists. I don't want it to disappear, and yeah, I mean, this is why piracy is king. Pirates need to rise up. And it's not about being selfish or not paying for physical media. It really needs to be about preserving art. Because what we've seen in the past few years is, let's say, President Trump being digitally removed from a film. We're seeing the elimination of certain music artists because of their unpopular opinions. We're seeing entire catalogs disappear because they make a comment about, Israel or Palestine or whatever. And yeah, all the more reason to support physical media. And yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with Christopher Nolan. And yeah, I mean, this is a hell of a way to sell your Blu-ray products or your DVDs. It's like, yeah, dude, if you buy this, you're gonna see content on this disc that doesn't exist anywhere on the internet except for this thing, and you can have it for $30 or $20 or however much the movie costs. Yeah, let me just read what he's saying. Christopher Nolan took a playful swipe at streaming while introducing a Los Angeles screening of Oppenheimer that was devoted to spotlighting the film's craft. Crew members reunited for the event, blah, blah. Obviously, Oppenheimer has been quite a ride for us, and now it is time for me to release a home version of the film. I've been working very hard on it for months, Nolan said. I'm known for my love of theatrical and put my whole life into that. But the truth is, the way the film goes out at home is equally important. Okay, so you guys get the point. Yeah, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. All right, let me read some of these comments. Dude, what's going on with YouTube? I'm getting more engagement on Rumble than I am on any of these other platforms. Granted, I always stream on Tuesday. I'm gonna try to do more streams overall during the week, but Tuesday, 100% sure. Very little engagement on YouTube. Very disappointed. Yeah. So let me see. Let me read some of this. Will's son is a total F-head. Yeah, he's a weirdo for sure. Will's kid is a product of his environment. Same with Madonna's. Kind of sad. Man, I can't stand Madonna. I think Madonna's one of the worst of the bunch. Madonna actually makes me kind of mad. When I think of Madonna, I get pretty upset because there was an elderly man who made these comments about Joe Biden in Utah, and he ended up being shot by the FBI. He ended up being murdered by the FBI. But if Madonna says those things, she gets international praise. If Johnny Depp says those things, he gets international praise. I can't stand celebrities. I can't stand celebrity worship. You won't see that here on this channel. I stopped watching Peter Wood crap. So did I. The last time I've been to the movies, Asteroid City, Wes Anderson, in my opinion, is not part of the tribe. Also, Top Gun. I mean, that's really about it. I can't remember the last. Well, I saw the Megalodon 2 with Jason Statham with friends. We made a thing of we got like food, we got some drinks, we saw the Mega Shark or the Meg 2. We got dude, we're just having fun. We're just messing around. And I also saw some horror movie. It's the one with like the little hand, the plastic hand. Yeah, F YouTube. Yeah, YouTube sucks. All right. So, all right, guys. We gotta move on to the next story here. Whoop. All right. Office bomb. The Marvels. The Hollywood Reporter is exclaiming that the Marvels opens to $47 million in new low for Marvel Studios. Yeah, why are people watching this garbage in the first place? Why are people so invested in these garbage comic book, these dorky films? And I've already said my piece about this, but I think it's worth repeating again now that my content had to be removed. But the stakes aren't high. What Disney/Marvel does with these characters is they keep their fans in like a state of infancy. They baby them. Like they don't want, like regular people, the consumers, like these soy boys, they don't want to see their precious heroes go away. And now that they did, they lost interest. And it's one of the reasons why this Marvel thing like failed spectacularly, because they're trying to push these new characters on that nobody really cares about. And the good, fun characters have been removed. There's one element of it. And also, this is just soulless garbage. You know, they have like these goofy little cats in the trailer. They're just trying to sell products, cheap Chinese junk to their idiot, soy consuming fan base. And there's nothing redeemable here. There's nothing good here. It's not funny. It's played out. The stories are not coherent at all. It just meanders all over the place. And also the economy is shit. So the kind of people that would likely go to see this thing, they're not going to see it because they don't got a job. They got no money. So this thing failed. Also, Brie Larson has made it a point to tell white men to not see her films. So yeah, I mean, that's a, yeah, you tell people not to do something, tell people to stay away. Most of us are going to listen, Yeah, she's like, white boy need not apply. White boy need not buy tickets. And it's like, yeah, we won't. From Marvel Studios and Disney, the superhero tentpole opened an estimated $47 million at the domestic box office to rank at the worst start in the history of Marvel Cinematic Universe. It also came in behind expectations overseas, where it launched with $63 million from 51 material markets for a global start of $110 million against a hefty $200 million production budget. Wow. Until now, rival DC was a superhero studio that endured the biggest ups and downs, with a good number of its films opening to $50 million or less. In comparison, many MCU releases started with $100 million or more domestically. This summer, DC's The Flash, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Let's see. I mean, there's just really nothing else to say about that, except for, this is good. Yeah, cape shit is garbage. People shouldn't be going to see these things. I would not want my kids to go see these things. Let's see. Self-entitled arseholes make me puke. I just noticed that when I called this dude young man, I sound like an actual boomer. Oh, I'm only Gen X. Haha. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just imagine you were a lot older, Indel. Oh, well, yeah. Let's see. Disney bucks go poof. Yeah, well, here's the unfortunate reality about cape shit or Hollywood. Hollywood receives billions of dollars of taxpayer funding. Most people don't know that. So it's kind of silly for like the anti-woke culture warriors to be like, oh, dude, we gotta do a dance. We gotta do our happy dance because Marvel lost all this money. We're paying for it. We're literally paying for it. If you Google it, like how much tax dollars goes to Hollywood, it's in the billions. So they can afford these losses. They can afford to just make this garbage. And this is just my theory. The reason why they do this, it's not about making art. It's not about good cinema. It's not about providing an experience. It's a propaganda game. It's a numbers game. Let's say you make some woke trash and you got a political message that you want to push out to people, to the masses. All right, so this is dog shit, like the Marvels. This is basically useless, right? It's beneath the dirt on my shoes. But they make it anyways. And let's just pretend only 1 million people go to the movie theater and see it. Well, they don't really care if they make money or not because we're paying for it. The taxpayer pays for it. However, 1 million people saw it. And let's say half of those people end up agreeing with or being influenced by the political message. So 500,000 people, they know 500,000 people, and then it just spreads like a virus. The reason why Hollywood is going woke and pushing all the globalist, internationalist nonsense that they do, it's because it's not about cinema, guys. It's about the message. It's about conditioning the mind to accept things that are not true. It's about conditioning ethnic Europeans to turn against themselves, their history, their heritage, their people, their children even. It's about supporting and loving everything that is wrong with the world and believing things that are just blatantly not true. The sooner people realize that, the better off we all are. And DC is scrambling right now. Not DC. Yeah, DC, Marvel. That's what I meant. DC, Marvel, Disney, all these stupid woke companies are scrambling right now because this is a mask off moment for these companies. Because we can track in real time that people are not seeing this shit. Yet they keep making these movies. People are going to start asking questions. How are they able to afford these massive box office flops? Think about that for a second, guys. Think about that. Let me read some of this stuff. Feminazis, I agree. Looks good on them. DEI, money from the WEF. China at some point did do a lot of funding for Hollywood production films. WEF mandate, by any means necessary. Laughing my ass off. Whiskey, you're over the target for it, sir. Yeah, I agree. Oh, man. Dude, it's really sad, man. I'm kind of bothered by this whole YouTube thing, but you know what? Rumble is where it's at. Hold up. I don't got my Facebook chat up. Well, let me see what's going on with Facebook. All right, I got no comments here. Let me refresh this. Dude, I don't know how any of this Facebook stuff works, but whatever. All right, so it's enough of this Marvel shit. Can't stand it. Yeah. Like if I had kids, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to go out and get ice cream. And we're going to go to the water park. We're going to do fun stuff. We're not going to watch this garbage. And I was listening to Dick Masterson and Vito Giswaldi. And he's like, bro, like I remember when I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, I took shrooms and I started freaking out and panicking because like, there's like giant walrus with like, wheelchair legs and like there's like animals being tortured and stuff. Like, why would you take a kid to see that? It was just so gross and sadistic. And I had issues with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. My former co-host, who's no longer with us, he like freaked out because I just didn't like the movie. And I just told him, I'm like, dude, like it just doesn't make any sense. Like the film just sucks. Oh, on Rumble, we won't get banned for spicy comments. Oh, that's right. You guys say whatever you want. I'm a free speech absolutist. I'm all about people being able to speak whatever it is they believe to be true and righteous and all that. And I believe people should be unfettered in their speech. The only thing I'm against, violent threats of rape, and I guess defamation and libel. I'm not really down with just being dishonest. Like I come out here and I tell the truth about some stuff. And some of the stuff is about me and it's really, really difficult. But when I just decided a long time ago, it's like, look, if you're going to be a public person and you're going to put your face out there, which is what I literally do, you got to be 100% honest. Because there's a lot of guys, a lot of young guys, a lot of young girls, they're out there stunting, they put on this facade and, my friends know the truth. God knows the truth. My family knows the truth. And like there's dudes out there that like pretend to be rich and got money and stuff. And it's like, you might impress 1,000 people that you don't know, but people in your life know the truth. And, just having that weigh on me that someone will come out and expose me as like a fraud like that would frighten me. So, again, I'm just a working class guy. I'm not even close to rich. And, these opinions, they come from real world experience. And I'm not just reading these bullshit articles and stuff. Like I write screenplays. I'm an electrician. I studied finance in college. I've done some stuff for the government. I worked in politics. I've won serious elections. And unfortunately, there's really not much to cover in regards to the election stuff. But yeah, man, there's just no point in lying and being dishonest. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue. What else do we got here? All right. Company behind Miss Universe files for bankruptcy after Transformer controversy. While the 2023 Miss Universe pageant, known for its inclusion Transformer contestants, will still take place this Saturday. The JK blah blah blah. The Thai business tycoon and Transformer activist blah 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 of JKN Group bought the organization for $20 million in 2022. Okay, so it's not even like okay, whatever. Let's see, Jack Rajab, who has international fame as a Transform celebrity, described the purchase at the time as a strong strategic addition to our portfolio, but a year later, the franchise itself appears unstable. The public document sent to the Stock Exchange of Thailand from JKN Global Group declared JKN Global Group Public Company Limited. The company has filed a petition for business rehabilitation with the central bank court under the blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The Miss Universe organization published a substantial announcement declaring that amid the current financial situation that we confirm that Miss Universe 2023 will be held in El Salvador on November 18th, blah, blah, blah. All right. So yeah, Miss Universe is over with. They're done. I don't remember who the last Miss Universe was, but here, let me see if we can, if it's in this video here. 55 seconds of this horse shit. Come on, let me see what this guy looks like. Oh, what the hell? Something about a cruise? All right. So, anyways, let me just say this. This is not surprising to anybody, but when you have real women, beautiful women, having to compete with men, they don't want to do it. I don't really care for these pageants. I never watched them at any point in my life, but if I did, and for those that did, you know, pageants are about women. They're about girls. And it doesn't make sense to me to watch something that involves a lot of beautiful women competing with ugly men, and then those ugly men winning the contest. The process is bullshit. It's rigged. Why would anybody participate in this? Why would anybody want to watch this? It's nonsense. It's not a fucking mystery that this thing failed and this company that had to file for bankruptcy. Politics destroying family is insane, but that is our society. Love the karma boomerang. I know, right? Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to shove this nonsense down our throats. And again, I'm not like, look, hold up. I need more wine. I need more wine to continue this. All right. Like, I don't really care about the Transformers. They're not my enemy. Somebody wants to transform. They want to live their life however they want. I really don't care. Just don't tell kids to do it. They want to do these, they want to participate in Miss Universe. They want to, participate in the films, whatever. Don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. And I legitimately don't hate them. And I don't want to persuade people not to hate them either. Because if you hate something, it's really difficult to be objective. However, with that being said, do I have any desire to watch something like this? No. When I hear Miss Universe and I hear pageant, I'm like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of beautiful women parading around on the stage talking about how they want to, bring about world peace or whatever. And then there's these dudes parading around. They're all hairy and shit. And I'm like, I don't want to what the fuck? Like, what's going on, dude? I just got bamboozled. Can't have it. I don't want any part in it. I don't want anything to do with it, And that's what drives the left crazy, because the left demands not only my acceptance, my tolerance, they demand my participation. They demand that I be enthusiastic. And if I frown at a dude parading on stage with beautiful women and thinking to myself, oh, that person doesn't belong there, then they want me in prison for committing a face crime. All the more reason to tap out of pop culture, because pop culture is toxic as shit. Pop culture is tainted. Pop culture has been captured by the internationalists, and they want us to be involved in this. They want us to watch this stuff, and many people just said, no, we are done. We're not going to participate. Let me read some of this. Whiskey, I feel really bad for people that get disowned from their family for political opinions, usually the left doing the disowning. TDS is strong on the left. Rainbow folks don't bother me at all. I knew a couple rainbow dudes that were awesome carpenters, and they never flaunted their lifestyle. Live and let live. There's only two genders. By the way, I'm reading a comment. I'm not making that opinion. Please do not ban me any of the sites that I'm streaming on. There's only two, and a shitload of artards. LOL. Tell that to Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah, more like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah, let me just say this. About the TDS stuff, let me tell you guys a real story. I was I was doxxed by someone close to me. I'm going to try to be vague as hell. They said things about me that were not true, and it was over the January 6th stuff. This person said, like, oh, how can you guys pretend to support police, but then you're cheering on these so-called protesters? And I'm like, well, they're just meandering around the Capitol. They're not really doing anything. Not only that, like, January 6th is funny. So this person said things about me that were not true. Called me a money beggar. They said I do horrible things, commit these certain crimes. And this individual also accused me of being responsible for my grandfather's death. He ended up, he was 88 years old. He lived a good life. May he rest in peace. I love you, Tony. You know, he was a good man. He did right by his family, and he served his country. He fought communists. He was in the military, and we weren't allowed to be by his side because of the bullshit pandemic restrictions. He died alone in a room surrounded by strangers, these douchebag TikTok nurses. And when I was going home, I read that I was blamed for it because I didn't want to wear a mask. That TDS shit is real, man. Like, TDS should be like a real diagnosable illness. And I know God would want me to forgive this person, but I'm struggling, man. I just feel like some people just can't be forgiven. Maybe not now, maybe in the future. This person never apologized for the behavior. Calling me a money beggar? It's not what I fucking do. People know me. And like, that's the thing. Like, I'm upset and I'm angry, but it's not like as bad as I'm making it out to be, because like, I'm a public person and I know a lot of people and they know me. I never begged anybody for fucking money. The only thing I've ever begged for was forgiveness to Jesus Christ. Baby Jesus, that's it. It's a family member, by the way, that was making these things up. And yeah, I can't say too much about the fucking shit that was being said, because I don't want to implicate them in my shit. Again, they said what they said. And again, if someone wants to say I'm a dumbass, I got stupid opinions, I'm brainwashed, whatever, I don't care. But you start saying things about me that are untrue and blaming me. I live a really good life. I am blessed to have the life that I have, and it wouldn't have been possible without my grandfather. And just knowing everything that we know now about the scamdemic, yeah, man, it just bothered me that I was blamed for it. And 80 years old, man. I mean, you don't bounce the way that you used to when you're that age. And he held on, and he did right by his family. And now, now I gotta take care of my family. I gotta do right by my family. Make sure my grandmother's okay, that she has everything that she wants and she needs, and that, I'll be there to protect her. My mother as well. And yeah, to be accused of those things, none of it was true. None of it was true. I remember sitting across one of my high school buddies. We're at a bar downtown Las Vegas, and I was, we're all like talking, we're smoking our cigarettes, we're drinking our beer, and I was like, oh my God, they're like attacking these Trump supporters. So in 2016, I was a Bernie bro. I was a lifelong Democrat, and I went full MAGA, and I don't regret it. And I was like, and I'm anti-violence, I'm anti-hate and stuff. So to see these innocent Trump supporters getting attacked, I'm like, dude, this is wrong. And this guy, I'm going to call him Timmy. Timmy was like, well, they shouldn't have been supporting him. And he had this evil like grin on his face. He had this evil look on his face. I'm like, dude, like, are you seriously just fucking say that? You're crazy, man. That is sick, man. Sorry for your loss, dude. Thank you, Whiskey. We endured. It was this is back in 2020, so it's 3 years ago. Man, I can't remember the last time I legitimately cried. Cried when I lost my grandfather. And the way to honor him is to honor my family and do right by them, do right by my neighbors, and that's about it. It's about it. Karma did get them, Whiskey. Karma did get them. But again, I don't want to say too much because my dad watches the show. My mom, you know, she's like, oh my God, where'd you get these opinions from? I'm like, okay, Mom. You know, I love her. You know, we got our differences, but like, I love my mom. All right, so we gotta move on. So that's enough about this Miss Universe drama. Let's see what we got here. Shame on you. Sacha Baron Cohen accuses TikTok of creating the biggest anti-Semitic movement since the Nazis. Dude, this is Sacha Baron Cohen. Dude, this guy called for the censorship of speech. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I recall a certain politician, a certain political leader that wanted to ban TikTok because it was so harmful to the youth. It was so harmful to our country. And people called that specific politician a boomer and stupid and fat and all this stuff. And yeah, now look at him. Let's watch this video. What are we going to see? Oh boy, let me turn up the audio. It's only a minute long. Bear with me.
To America. And I will never look at life the same. I will never look at this country the same. I will never. Please read it.
All right. Oh shit. Hold on. Well, that's loud. All right. Let me just read this. So, a text of an inflammatory letter to America from 9/11 mastermind Osama bin Laden has gone viral on TikTok. Okay. Drawing praise from young users.
I feel like I'm going through like an existential crisis right now, and a lot of people are. So I just need someone else to be feeling this too.
All right. So in the letter, bin Laden claimed that that he orchestrated the deadly 9/11 attacks because the U.S. attacked us in Palestine. Okay. All right, so there's a giant video of an Israeli flag, and it says the terrorists also described the creation of Israel as a crime which must be erased. Ooh, by the way, I disavow that claim. Please do not come after me, Mossad. The disturbing TikTok trend comes as reports of anti-Semitism nationally are on the rise, with 214% spike in anti-Jewish incidences in New York City. New York, by the way, being super diverse, not many whites. But yeah, we see a lot of this anti-Semitism, and we're seeing a lot of hatred. Even Amy Schumer making like this cringy post where she's like, oh, and then they came for me and nobody spoke up. Yeah, dude, like you guys spew a lot of hatred. Sacha Baron Cohen, Amy Schumer, the pig, these people spewed a lot of hatred towards white Americans, towards working class people. And now they're facing the wrath of their own people, of the people on their own side, politically speaking, of course. What do you want me to say to that? Am I supposed to care that you feel attacked? Am I supposed to care that you feel unsafe? You've made America unsafe for people like myself. I just remember seeing, I was at the mall, I was at the fashion show mall, and I was going to, I think I was going to an eye appointment, it doesn't matter. And I saw this young family, this little family, eating pizza, and this little boy that was sitting with him, he's wearing the MAGA hat. And I thought it was so cool of him. And I'm thinking now, this guy, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Amy Schumer, the pig, they think it's okay to attack those people. They get off on seeing videos of families wearing the Trump hat, sporting the American flag. They get off on watching those people get attacked and get hurt. But now Sacha Baron Cohen, he's on the wrong end of that stick. These people that are making those videos, they're aligned with you politically. They belong to the same political party. They're not guys like me. And let's go to my bookmarks really quick. I think I got a video that I bookmarked that kind of highlights the insanity. I also haven't seen it, but like it's been described to me. Let me see. Right here. Yeah, this is it. Again, I do not endorse the worldview of this young lady. I don't support whatever is going to come out of her mouth. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't seen this video. I just know what is happening here. So Brian Krasenstein, he's a far leftist douchebag. But he's kind of entertaining to follow, and I like hate. Like I like hate reading his stuff. So if you are using Osama bin Laden, this is what he wrote. If you are using Osama bin Laden to rationalize your support for a terrorist group in the Middle East, then I think you need to take about 20 steps back and reevaluate your use of social media before you perhaps ruin your own future. Okay, that's sensible so far. Number one, that girl. Hold up. That this girl may actually think that bin Laden was right, or I don't know what is more sad. This is what he writes. Number one, that this girl may actually think that bin Laden was right or good, or that she will now have this video attached to her for the next 60 plus years. Please do your research before making such foolish video clips on the internet. It's possible your great-grandchildren will one day find them. Using one of the most evil people of the last 80 years to back your support for Hamas should tell you everything you need to know about Hamas. Okay. This video right here, I know it's gone viral, but it's got over 752,000 views. So this is a young BIPOC lady. She's probably, I don't know, about 20 years old. Dude, she's probably like 18 or 17 years old. So as I'm doing this stream right now, it's the year 2023. Think about this for a second. 9/11 happened in 2001. There's literally 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 19, 18-year-olds who were little babies or didn't really exist when all this 9/11 stuff happened. So they're saying all this stuff. And yeah, it's a bad idea. Honestly, like if you got kids, don't give them smartphones or iPads or any of that stuff until they're like 16. And then, have a good conversation about etiquette on the internet. Have a good conversation about, responsibility with tech. All right, so we're going to go ahead and watch this video. I'm going to read some of these comments, and I'm going to respond to you guys after this. Probably won't have to watch this whole thing. I'm going to speed it up.
Okay, so if you don't know what the fuck is going on in the world right now, I'm here to explain to you. Y'all, I'm shaking because I don't know what to do. Like, oh my God. Okay, so Osama bin Laden came out with a letter to America, and this is just him answering the first question. This is just the first question. This is all information that I gathered from the first question. He asked 2 questions, he answered 1. Hold on. So he says, because you attack us and continue to attack us, you attacked us in Palestine, it brings us both laughter and tears that you're yet tired of repeating your fabricated lies. Mind you, he's talking to America as a whole, okay? Attacked us on a daily basis. Over 30 million civilians have died. Not army people, regular civilians, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, the kids, dead. You still are welled in oil, I don't know this word, but because of your international influence, you sound entitled, America. The theft is indeed the biggest theft ever witnessed by mankind in history of the world. Starved the Muslims of Iraq, children die every day. More than 1.5 million Iraqi children have died as a result of your sanctions and did not show no concern. Yet, when 3,000 of your people die, the entire world rises and has yet to sit down. He's talking about 9/11. 3,000 people died in 9/11, yet every year it's like, oh my God. But yet millions of people are dying and oh my God. Hold on. He says, you have supported the Jews and their idea that Jerusalem is their eternal capital.
By the way, disavow the comments about those people.
And agreed to move their embassy there. Listen, y'all, with Americans' protection, the Jews are planning to destroy, I don't know what this is, I'll put it right here. More than half a century of attacks. And did y'all know that the tax dollars are given to Israel to help them kill all the people in Palestine?
Yeah, I think you guys get the point. Holy shit. Yeah, these people are impressionable. I mean, I don't want to place too much blame on the parents, but cell phones, PlayStations, Skype, Discord, they become babysitters for these kids, for these young people, these young folk. And they're going out saying this stuff. Look, to conspiracy theorists, I'll sympathize. I'm a skeptic of Americanism. I'm a skeptic of the prevailing narratives that has been set forth by public education. And I think it's healthy and a good thing to question literally everything that has been told to us by the regime and the regime media acolytes. Nothing wrong with that. But if you have a figure, imagined or fake or not, that is described as a barbarian, a terrorist, a butcher, a mastermind of horrific cruelty against innocent American citizens, and you praise this individual, you've lost the plot. Now, and me personally, I can be maybe not sympathetic, but understanding of people in the Middle East. I can understand their animus and their hatred towards America and Americanisms and all that, because the Middle East has gotten a raw deal the past 20, 30 years. And a lot of them have perished at the hands of our horrific foreign policy. I don't want to see Middle Eastern people perish. I don't want to see them brutalized. I don't want to see their nations invaded. I understand the anger in their heart when they see American boots in their backyard. I get it. But I'm not going to praise terrorists, whether they legitimately did something or not. I'm not going to praise violent criminals. I'm not going to promote or endorse or celebrate violence. And a lot of people are getting in trouble. I mean, if you go back and watch some of my previous stuff, a lot of people are celebrating violence, guys. They're celebrating violence or promoting violence. They're celebrating and promoting bigotry and all that stuff, all that nasty stuff. And they're getting themselves in trouble. People are like, it's not even just like, it's like some dumbass in bumfuck nowhere. These are professional class individuals with college educations, with bachelor's degrees, PhDs, masters, etc. People who work for a local state government. And they're going around antagonizing innocent Jewish people who are upset and worried about what's happening in the Middle East. One of them was even a USPS driver antagonizing and harassing and just belittling Jewish Americans. And look, I get where a lot of animus comes from, but me personally, I'm staying out of it. All right, let me read some of these comments. So, young people, young and impressionable, yes, they are. And yet their population grew and grew. That is true. She is talking some truth, but still snoring. I know. Let's see. America, as it was envisioned, is the greatest country on earth. It is pretty great. But because of its fairness and openness, left itself open to some very, very bad people to gain power. That is true. Now they know why we on the right, MAGA, now rhinos, are less government. Yeah, the less government, the better. I mean, just look at all the things the government do. There's no better time to be like a small government type Republican or conservative or whatever, than now. It's really easy to make a great argument for why we need less government. They just make everything so much worse. And they're thieves. Like what I'm seeing a trend on like TikTok and other sites like, yo, what's up with my gross pay? It's like, dude, all this money's being taken out of my check. And it's like, dude, now is an opportunity, guys. Now is an opportunity to educate these young people about taxes and stuff. And, why so much of their check is disappearing. But you got to do it tactfully. You can't like go in there and brute force your way into it. You got to talk to them a certain way, or they're just not going to be, they're not going to listen. They pull this shit in our name and it sucks. It does suck, man. It does suck. Paid for by Soros too. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, but you know what's funny? Again, we wouldn't have these young kids, these young impressionable youth, these young people saying this stupid stuff. If Trump was still around, he probably would have banned TikTok. He probably would have destroyed the company. All right. Let's see. Discrimination charge filed against Michigan hair salon that told Transformer clients to seek services at local pet groomer. Disavow, that's mean. However, still hilarious. We're going to watch. So we got some human interest stories. We only got a couple, so let's just go ahead and watch. Oh, hold on. Let me turn up the video really quick. All right, so a Michigan hair salon is being widely criticized over a Facebook post where they announced they would not be servicing Transformers. Studio 8, here, let me pause this really quick. Studio 8 Hair Lab wrote that Transformer customers were not welcome, saying they should instead seek services at a local pet groomer. I'm gonna assume a Studio 8 Hair Lab is for women, which is fine. Let's continue. A screenshot of the post, which also featured a denouncement of a Michigan hate crime law from earlier this year, was published by a local Rainbow news outlet. The Facebook page has since gone private, but the co-owner of the salon, Christine Geiger, allegedly posted her reasoning on a different page. All right, here we go. She wrote in a comment that she has no issue with rainbow people. It's the TQ that I'm not going to support. Okay, before falsely claiming I stands for PDF files. Cool. All right, she sounds kind of based. The post comes less than 2 weeks after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a graphic designer who refused to work with rainbow couples. All right, so you guys get the point. So yeah, she's telling these people to fuck off. You know, they're probably really difficult to work with. I don't really know. I mean, this seems more personal than it has to do with politics or like taking a stand or like protesting some laws. I just don't want the woke dollar. Okay, so this is political. I don't want the woke dollar. I'd rather not be as busy than to have... Hold on, let me read this. I'm reading this exactly how it's written. I'd rather not be as busy than to have to do services that I don't agree with, she said. Michigan's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act prohibits discrimination in employment, housing, and public services based on religion, race, color, national origin, age, sex, height, weight, familial status, or marital status. What the state Civil Rights Act was amended earlier this year to add greater protections over sexual orientation and gender identity. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, we're at a point. Let me see. So Studio 8 Hair Lab, this is their post. If a human identifies as anything other than a man or a woman, please seek services at a local pet groomer. You are not welcome at this salon, period. Should you request, by the way, I'm just reading YouTube, all these other platforms, please do not ban me. Should you request to have a particular pronoun used, please note we may simply refer to you as, hey, you, regardless of Michigan HB 4744, which is, I guess, a stupid law. My ass governor, kiss my ass, Governor Whitmer. Tongue out emoji. This is America, free speech. This small business has the right to refuse services. We are not bound to any oath as realtors are regarding discrimination. My recent airport experience validates this. Grinning emoji. Hashtag take a stand. Hashtag Garrett. So no. Okay. Oh shit, dude! You're gonna get yourself in a lot of problem, lady. You're gonna get yourself in a lot of problems. But you know that's your right. Let's see. Government's only job is to look after criminals through law. And to protect our borders, yes. They want hair colors. They are beyond the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah, probably. You know what? So I'm thinking really hard about this, and I feel like, you know, there might be more problems than they're worth. You know, like dealing with that certain clientele. My only experience is, here's my experience with the Transformers. I've had no issues with them on a personal level. They never wronged me. They never inconvenienced my life. However, I was playing video games, and there was this Transformer who was there. They were very friendly. As a human being, from a human-to-human perspective, they're probably decent folk. However, given who I am and what I like to say, you know, I'm an edgy dude. I make jokes and stuff. I made some comments that were very tame. I don't want to repeat them here because someone will use them against me. But I made some comments that were very tame. And they're like, that is a slur against this specific group of people. Okay. I'm like, I don't really think that's true. I said, whatever. Maybe you're right. Okay. And then before that, they asked me what my pronouns were. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never been asked that, like, unironically. I told him I don't fucking know. I'm an idiot. The fuck's a pronoun? I write screenplays, and like this stuff is probably like instinctual, but when you really think about it, it just fries your brain. All this stuff is meant to confuse people. So when I see this lady, and I'm going to describe her to the audio only listeners. She seems like a mature lady, a proper lady. She's probably married, and yeah, she's just like, people are just fed up with this shit. You know, like I dealt with one instance of this kind of like rainbow shit, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And again, I'm not speaking about these people on a human level because I got no problems with them, you know, as like a human and stuff. But I don't like my speech being policed. And, you know, if you go back and you watch some of my episodes, I spoke with a literal member of Antifa. And this person was a transformer, male to female. I respected them. They wanted to be called a she or her, whatever. Okay, granted. Because I'm not out here trying to pick fights with people or be rude or whatever. And they came to me with class, right? They were respectful. So I'm going to, you know, it takes respect to get respect. So it's like, okay. But some people are just fed up. And I can understand that. But you got to be careful because now people are going to fucking come after you. Let's see. Let me read this. My dogs are barking at me. Gotta go. All right, Whiskey Honda, you have a good night, man. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. We're almost done here, I think. We got a few more stories, not that much. Let's see. ACT scores dropped to lowest level in 30 years. This is a local affiliate posting this. We all know why. I mentioned this earlier. Let's see if they're going to scroll down a little bit. There's not that much. Let's see. ACT CEO Janet Godwin said that this is the sixth consecutive year of declines in average scores. Godwin also said the number of seniors leaving high school without reaching the college readiness benchmarks is also rising. These systemic problems require sustained action and support at the policy level. She said in a release, this is not up to teachers and principals alone. It is a shared national priority and imperative. The graduating class of 2023 began their high school careers, blah, blah, scamdemic, blah, blah. Okay, so here's my problem. When people start talking about ACTs and they start talking about IQ. Sorry, dude, I've been fucking drinking on that. When they start talking about all these problems in the schools, I lose interest. Kind of like when people complain about their finances. Here's the problem. America, as a country, has figured out education. We've built and sustained some of the greatest education institutions in human history. Harvard comes to mind, MIT, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, we just produce very intelligent people, very intelligent humans right here in this country. I was alive when many of them were born. I was alive when many of them existed. And that's awesome. And then before me, many of them they did amazing things. So education's been figured out. We figured it out. Delivering high quality education should be super simple and a lot easier given our, you know, technological prowess. However, a lot of young people are graduating high school, quote unquote, graduating without being able to read at their age level, write at their age level, communicate effectively. You can't read, write, communicate, do basic math, basic arithmetic. You're dead in the water, man. How are you going to be able to hold a job? You can't even man a cashier register. These students were deliberately failed. So these test scores are really low. And people can cry about them all they want. All the press will cry about it. These institutions, they'll cry about it. Somebody's responsible. It's not the kid's responsibility to be educated. You know, like I work in the trades. I'm an electrician. I had to do some extra training. And there were a lot of young people in my class. And also in the real world, you know, I've been on job sites, you know, I went to other people's warehouses and stuff and had a brief on some things. And, you know, there's a lot of young people going into the trades because they don't really have any other options. And there's just a rise. I'm noticing on a personal level, there's a rise in people who can't do basic math, who can't read at their age level. Guys, reading is more than half the game, especially if you're installing a product that you've never installed before, that's electrical related, that's tied to, you know, that's connected literally to an electrical panel. You can't read simple instructions. How can I trust you? How could you Like, it just blows my mind. Communicate effectively. If you got to communicate effectively with the client, with the customer, with your manager, with the regulator, with the city, etc., and you're just not able to do it because you have to, because you weren't trained properly by the public education, like, that's a fucking problem. There's a generation of people, or almost a generation of people, just tens of thousands of young students, maybe millions of young students that have graduated the past couple of years that are not ready for the real world. These people would not be fit to work at McDonald's. And I'm not saying that to besmirch a McDonald's employee. I couldn't survive at McDonald's. They work in a hard environment. They're using complex machinery to make delicious food, all that stuff, even if it's not good for you. I couldn't do it. But I know that if I trained and practiced and, they were patient with me, I could do it. But these kids going out of, graduating the past few years, they can't do that job. They can't be at a cash register and take an order and then make that food. They can't do it. And we're going to see a lot of these fields lacking competent tradesmen, competent so-called professionals. We're going to see it in the medical field. We're going to see it in the trades. We're going to see it in hospitality. We're going to see it everywhere. Owen Benjamin said that you're going to know that there's a genuine decline in society when the planes start falling out of the sky. And if you look on the news, I don't have anything pulled up right now, but we're seeing a lot of these stories popping up about planes like not being able to take off and people just fucking up at the airport. I was like, fuck, man, he's right. And that's really fucking scary to think about, man. Really, really scary to think about. What else do we got here? American lawyer, 77 busted in Panama. Let's get into a little bit of crime stuff. I don't really have too much to say about this guy. He ended up gunning down these protesters, and I'm very against promotion of violence. I'm against promotion of hatred and stuff, and celebrating death. I think it's bad karma, and I feel like God would punish me if I legitimately espouse hatred towards someone I don't know, and celebrating their demise because of protests, no matter how vehemently I disagree with it. With that being said, I do find it very difficult to be sympathetic towards them. I'm losing my patience with these climate alarmists. They're disrupting our lives. They are voting in these horrific policies and voting in these horrific politicians that are making the planet dangerous and uninhabitable. And I mean, just imagine, these nations, these powerful nations engage in nuclear warfare. Your activism means nothing. And now you're being unalived by these, these old dudes with guns that just had enough of you. I just have a hard time being sympathetic towards them. But, we got some more crime stuff, though. Secret Service agents protecting Biden's granddaughter open fire at the 3 people try to break into SUV. The left always says that, it's not worth taking a life over property. Let's read if anybody was in the car. I bet they were not. Secret Service agents assigned to defend President Biden's granddaughter opened fire late Sunday on a group of people attempting to break into an unmarked Secret Service car, officials said. Agents protecting the 29-year-old lawyer's home in the Georgetown neighborhood of Washington caught 3 people attempting to break into a parked, unmarked Secret Service vehicle. 11:58 p.m., Secret Service agents encountered possibly 3 individuals breaking a window on a parked and unoccupied government vehicle. Secret Service spokesman Anthony blah, 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 blah said during this encounter, a federal agent discharged a service weapon and it is believed no one was struck. The offenders immediately fled the scene in a red vehicle, and a regional lookout was issued to supporting units. There was no threat to any protectees, and the incident is being investigated by the D.C. Metropolitan Police. Very corrupt agency, by the way. So the D.C. Police Department and the Secret Service. A neighbor of the first granddaughter told the Post that they took a walk by the site around 11 p.m., roughly an hour before the encounter, and that the street was dead. without anyone outside in the chilly weather. Yeah, so I know a little bit about this. Hold on, let me read some of these comments before I chime in. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that is scary as we all get out because we have very few teachers. They're activists now. That is true. That's why I homeschooled. Yeah, absolutely. Homeschool your kids, man. Get your kids away from these public educators, man. I work for the county out here. Get the fuck away from these people. They do not have your children. Like, look, I said this in a previous stream. If I'm a black man, if I'm a black father, I got little black children, and I hear these fucking teachers say, my child is stunning and brave. My child is amazing. I'm going to protect these black kids from these evil white MAGA supporters, evil white racists or whatever. And that we're going to make them succeed. And then my kids, my black children are 18 years old. They can't read, they can't write, they can't spell, they can't do math. That's going to piss me off. I'm going to think everything they told me was a lie. It probably is. They set those kids up for failure. There's no good explanation for that. None. Because we have very few teachers or activists now. Okay, I read that. My son said he couldn't concentrate because the classroom were always so rowdy. He's a smart kid, and putting him through public school is just, well, mean. It is mean. One teacher even said he might be autistic to defend herself. Told my son that a trade will make him wealthy. It's hard work, but honest and rewarding. But a man defending himself at home or defending a woman in a subway gets pummeled. I know, right, Lindo? You know, let me just say this, man. Like, I think children, like Nick Rekieta, despite his many flaws, if any exist, he has a community where I don't know if it's like they take turns educating the children, but like one person in the community will like teach the kids math. Rekieta will teach the kids civics. So people in the community are getting together and they're homeschooling / educating the children on a communal level. They're divorcing themselves from public education. Because public educators, instead of addressing and dealing with a child, honestly, they'll be like, oh, well, he's autistic. Oh, he's dyslexic. Oh, he's this, he's that. They'll pump him full of drugs. They'll pump him full of pharmaceutical products, whatever. They'll scare the parents, make them waste money on stupid shit. When a lot of the times the kids are not being trained or educated properly, because there's a way to talk to every single person. You can't talk to a child the same way that you would talk to an adult. You got to do it right. And timing is everything. When you're young, it's more important to focus on socializing a child than so-called educating them. But liberals can't help themselves. They want to just, everything needs to be an educational experience. Everything needs to be a learning experience, which is why they're so adamant about showing pornography and stuff to kids and showing all this like sex education to children and shit and all this other bullshit. They're like, we got to expose them to so-called fascism. They want to scare the fuck out of these kids at a young age. When I was a kid, we didn't learn about any of that shit. And now when I was in school, like we learned about slavery and stuff, obviously, but it wasn't glorified. And obviously it was horrible. Subjugating another human against their will is obviously not a good thing. And the left has, they've gotten a hold of their prevailing narrative is that people like myself want to promote this idea that like it was beneficial in some way, or like they're just weird about it. No one thinks it's a good thing, but they want to hold an entire group collectively guilty. And we're seeing a lot of mental illness among the youth, mostly white youth. We're seeing suicide rates and stuff climb high. And it's probably because they're being told that they're responsible for all this evil in the world. They're being exposed to pornography. They're being exposed to nudity and degeneracy. My childhood was like Pokemon cards, Nintendo 64, Counter-Strike, riding my bicycle. But now, like, I wasn't exposed to like my mom wouldn't even let me watch Jerry Springer until I was like in middle school and stuff, if I really wanted to. And I didn't. I had better shit to do. But liberals just want to like shove this stuff in the face of kids. And they want to tell parents they're bad if they don't expose their kids to it. They're not ADHD. They're not autistic or anything. They just don't want anything to do with these freaks. Children, I used to work with kids. Children aren't stupid, man. Children are pretty damn intuitive. And their intuition, their gut instincts, those instincts, those survival instincts, will drive them away from the weirdos and the creeps. Why do you think liberals want to get to your kids at a young age? I've seen it with my own eyes. It's disgusting. When I have kids homeschooled or like a Christian or Catholic private school, I'm not dealing with public schools. I've worked with those idiots. They don't know what they're doing and they're fucking lazy. There was like a handful of administrators who were honest to God good people, and they meant well and they loved the kids and they wanted to do right by them. But man, there's so few of them and so many of the retards. You know, I wanted to be an educator when I grew up. I wanted to teach people. And I was really passionate about it. I was an instructor for the county. Granted, it wasn't kids, it was election related, but man, they've lost the plot, dude. I just, under no circumstance would I ever imagine myself harming a kid. And what these school administrators, what these public educators are doing is harming children on a massive scale. And there's going to be a fucking reckoning, and it's not going to be pretty. It might even be happening right now. I don't know about you, but if someone said to me, I wasted 4 or 5 years of a kid's life and that I've set them up for failure and they can't hold a job, they can't speak correctly, they can't do math, and they're fucked, that would kill me. That would eat me up inside. Let me read some of these comments really quick. Whew. All right. So, let's see. One teacher even said that he might be autistic. Okay, I read that. Told my son that let's see. That's a great idea. I taught elderly folks computer skills. I loved it. Yeah, I love working with the elderly. I like working with kids. I like working with the elderly. Yeah, the kids and the elderly, they love me. Most people my age, they can't really stand me because I call them out on their bullshit. They don't fucking scare me. Look, I see vulnerable people, and I just like I'm gonna fucking protect them. I don't want people taking advantage of the elderly. And man, did I hear some horrible stuff, when I worked for the government. Yeah, man, it's awful. About the trades. Like if you're like not the toughest dude in the world. Again, I'm not the toughest guy in the world. I can admit that. Go into electrical work. If you're a tough guy, do plumbing. It's going to work out really well. You'll probably make more money than I do. Plumbers, invaluable. Other good trades. Carpentry is important. Carpentry is really good. But unfortunately, carpenters, they compete a lot with illegal aliens. And that's pretty lame. Me as an electrician, like if you're like a competent electrician, let's say like you don't get into like a union, so you don't get like a union apprenticeship. You can go into training, like a lot of community colleges and even some regular colleges, they'll offer courses for electrician training. You can get like a good technician job. You can work for like your local government and be like a traffic light technician. Pays like almost $28, $30 an hour. Perfect. The guy who trained me, he was a master electrician for the government here. And his job was important. I don't want to dox him, but it was super important. This guy, we would be in bad shape if he didn't exist. So I'll just leave it at that. He trained me. That dude works electrical maintenance. Hey, man, you think all this shit works? All my lights, everything works by magic? There's people that make sure this stuff works. You can do that. Plumbing, again, my toilet starts leaking water. I don't know what the fuck I don't know what to do. I got to call somebody. Welders, yeah, absolutely. Welders, fantastic trade. Even better if you want to, do underwater welding. I don't know if I'd want to do that. If I was a talented welder, I'd be hesitant to do underwater welding. If you're young, maybe. because you're going to be away from your family for a long time, and it's super dangerous. And it's like, you really want to put your family through that shit, or you want to be away from your lover for long periods of time. What if she strays and cheats? That's what happens with guys in the military. A lot of these military guys, they get cheated on, and it fucking sucks. So, but regular welders, excellent trade. Yeah, carpentry, again, I love carpenters, nothing but love. There's a lot of really good content creators that do carpentry out here, but unfortunately, you're just competing with illegal labor. The good thing about electricians, it's like our job, a lot of like job sites, a lot of companies, like they don't want to take chances. They'll pay us to do the right thing. If I'm a homeowner, let's say I have like $1 million, $5 million home, do I really want some illegal alien off the street to come to my house? Or do I want someone who's bonded, who's got insurance, who's credentialed, who you can verify? I'd rather have the verify. I'll pay the extra money. I don't care. I'll pay the extra money. And a lot of people have that mindset. But unfortunately, for like the brand new construction homes, at least in Vegas, illegal aliens are putting that shit together. I remember, I swear to God, guys, my grandmother moves out here. My grandparents move out here. My grandfather wasn't alive at the time. May he rest in peace. And the neighborhood that they first lived in, brand new homes, $500,000 homes. And my grandparents' home was already built. But most of the other neighborhoods, they were like, they're propping up the houses. And I'm going over to my grandparents' house, and I remember I was driving slow because there's people out and stuff, so I'm not trying to be an asshole. And I look over to my right, and I see I'm not stereotyping. I'm not being raised. What looked like a little Latino boy. He couldn't have been no more older than 12 years old. A Latino boy. I look like I'm a young dude. I remember what I looked like when I was a 12-year-old, 11-year-old. This guy was this little kid. Didn't even look like they were in their teenage years. Was working on this house. Clearly illegal labor. And I've been to a lot of job sites. I know what that shit looks like. It's fucking rough, man. But in the real world, they don't really compete with us. You got like a small, I'll get contracted out, work with like a small electric company that does like, repairs and stuff. Oh, but easy money. Mechanics are good too. I don't really know too much about like the mechanic world. I know the nature of mechanical work is changing because the cars are getting smarter, and a lot of people just don't have patience for that. It's just, dude, the world with cars, it's just not the same anymore. I'd have to ask a competent mechanic about what they think about it. Me personally, I'm like a slave to, the whims of a mechanic at my dealership, because I got a luxury car. So if something's wrong with the car, I take it to them. I'm at their mercy. I don't know too much about it. Maybe if I had an older car, it'd be a lot easier for a mechanic to repair. But a lot of these smart vehicles, like Tesla, it needs to be fixed by like a Tesla technician. You can't take it to like any random, body shop to make repairs on your vehicle. It's total bullshit. I fucking hate it. I hate the way that the car industry is moving in. But hopefully it gets better. All right, so we got to move on. So anyways, back to this shit really quick. I'll just say this about self-defense. Nobody was in that vehicle. Nobody was in danger, yet they opened fire on it because they were trying to break into it. Rules for thee, not for me. A lot of hypocrisy here. All right, man. I definitely strayed a lot from this vehicle. Yeah, fuck the Secret Service and fuck this family. The Biden crime family, bunch of bastards. All right, parents rip into Mayor Adams after mayor says they might have to volunteer to protect New York City schools after new safety agent cut. So kind of what we've been talking about, you guys. Dude, let's think about this logically for a second. These parents get substandard education for their kids. Their kids are not prepared for the real world. Their kids get treated like shit. They get exposed to pornography and all this disgusting stuff, and now no one's coming to protect them. Parents have to work too. If you're lucky to have both mom and dad in the household, both of them are gonna have to work to provide for this family, for the family unit to be, intact. But now they got to take time out of their work to make sure the kids are safe. And it's all for the benefit of the illegal aliens. Parents ripping to Eric Adams after mayor says they might have to volunteer to protect New York City schools after new safety agents cut. Not my job. Can you imagine? It's like, yeah, we got this budget here. And we keep, I know you've heard that phrase that the children are the future and that the life of a child is priceless, but we're going to have to make some budget cuts. The people that are responsible for protecting your little kid, we're going to have to get rid of them. That's what Mayor Eric Adams, Democrat, by the way, says. Mayor Eric Adams said Tuesday the parents might have to volunteer to keep Big Apple schools safe after hundreds of newly trained agents were cut. Hundreds of them. But the idea was quickly ripped by some parents who rage, it's not my job. I'm going to have to break from the parents here. It is your job. Those are your babies. It is always going to be your fucking job whether you're there or not. Let me just say this. When I have kids, and I will, it will always be my job to protect them no matter what. If my kids are at, let's say, like a little middle school or something, a little elementary school nearby, and then I'm told by the principal, by the mayor, or some Biden, who cares, whoever, and they're like, yeah, we can't protect these kids anymore at their school. They're going to be vulnerable. My response isn't going to be, it ain't my fucking job. Oh, well, y'all better fix this because I got to watch fucking Game of Thrones. I got to watch fucking Cuckball. I'm going to be like, wait a minute, hold the fuck up. You guys can't pay to protect these schools. You can't pay to protect my kids. I pay my fucking taxes, and you're telling me you can't do your fucking job first? I'm taking the kids out of the school. They're going to do online learning. I'm going to get a fucking tutor. I'll figure it out. So I got a problem with the parents saying it's not my job. No, I get the sentiment. But to do nothing is insanity. Let me read some of these comments really quick. So many crazy stories. It's hard to keep track. $7 billion deficit. Oh, dude, we got a $1 trillion deficit. U.S. wide. I don't know about New York. The rest of New York is pissed, and New York City is pissed at New York City because they suck up all the money. Oh, I know they do. Yeah, cuckball. Dude, it is cuckball. Oh man, I can go on about that forever. But yeah, let's continue reading the responses here. We're going to be leaning into parents and parent groups to do some volunteerism. Husener said, when asked about the new class of 250 school safety agents that were recently axed as the cost of the migrant crisis continues to cripple the city. Illegal aliens do the Macarena into New York. They get all these benefits, and your children suffer. These people are going to vote Democrat. New York in 2024 is going to go Democrat, and their kids are less safe. They got less resources, and they're still going to vote Democrat, even though they just fucked their kids. We're going to get our crisis management team. He continued during a weekly City Hall press conference. We are going to be straining at a very high level to get this done correctly, but parents quickly scoffed at the idea, with several telling the Post they shouldn't have taken on the responsibility of protecting their kids at the school. It's not my job or any parent's job to have to patrol the school. That's not why I'm sending my child to a school, Sarah Lewis, 42, said as she waited for the 6th grade daughter at the Great Oaks Charter School in the West Village. This whole situation is ridiculous. Another parent whose child is in 7th grade chimed in. Charter and public schools are already in need for more funding. And now with this, turning to parents to help in doing their own jobs. I usually don't even have the time to pick up my kid. Like I told you, man, these parents are busy. I don't got time for this. One parent sitting outside the school said, now they want us to come in and act as what? Security guards? Yeah, it's exactly what they want. It's exactly what they want. Dude, this is insane. This is from the New York Post, you guys. This is New York City. This is one of the biggest, richest cities in the world. Even the union who reps school agents, who are employed by the NYPD but are civilians who don't carry weapons. Ripped Adam's suggestion. People pay taxes for professional services. They should, why should they even be asked to do the work their taxes pay for? Said Local 237 spokesman Hank Schenkamp. It was immediately clear what parents would do if they were roped in as volunteers, as the mayor suggested. But safety agents are tasked in part with patrolling school buildings, operating scanners, and verifying the identity of visitors. We can't even keep kids safe in this country because illegal aliens require free food, free shelter, free everything, free phone, free iPhones. They inherit the world. They receive services on a whim sooner than our veterans, our disabled veterans. They get treated better than our disabled veterans, than the children in this country. The fucking balls on Mayor Eric Adams. Now, you know, y'all could have had a mayor who's the son of Giuliani. They could have had Governor Lee Zeldin. But they had to stick up their ass about Trump. They had to stick up their ass about Republicans. Now, I get not Republicans ain't perfect. I've been going to toe-to-toe with some of them on Twitter. But look what you got. Your kids are going to pay the price. No one's coming to protect them. If somebody wants to bring grave harm to those kids, they're going to be able to do so with very little resistance. If somebody wants to stalk a child, who's going to stop them? And you know what's so funny? These fucking Democrats, let me just say, I remember, I forget which mass shooting event it was, but I remember there was this horrible incident. You know, a lot of people perished and it was really sad. You know, kids were involved. And I remember reading like a lot of veterans like on Twitter and on Reddit and stuff and on Facebook. And they're like, you know, I'm a veteran, you know, I'm trained. Like I'll go out there and hang out in the parking lot. I'll be in my car, you know, so the kids don't see the gun and stuff. And I will protect the school. And Democrats mocked those people. Now nobody wants to do this. Not for free, at least. But the money's gone. It's got to go to Jose. Y'all asked for this. And they want to point at me like I'm a fucking bad guy because I wear a MAGA hat. Man, I've been drinking all fucking night. Hold on. Where's my water at? Read some of these comments. $7 billion to New York City. Oh, dude, what a waste of money. I would jump at the chance to protect my kid at school. Ain't a problem now, though, because of homeschooling. God bless. As a fact, I was watching a video of a vet crying his eyes out because he has nothing left. Yeah. Oh, man. Look, I'll shit on the military all day. I'm anti-military, but I'm pro-veteran. I got a lot of friends who are veterans. They served this country honorably. They did an honorable job. And I just remember reading that. So many of them just good hearts, good people, and they get shit on. That's why I tell these young people, they don't fucking join the military. Look how this country, look how the fucking Democrats treat our veterans. That's what they're going to do to you. Maybe worse. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it no more. Yeah, these veterans, they're like, yeah, dude, they're willing to die and protect kids. And they got mocked for it. The Democrats are like, oh, well, no one should be risking their lives like that. We should just ban guns. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, we need police officers and these safety people at the school. Because all these kids are on the internet. And there's a lot of creeps on the internet. And they want to prey on children and stalk them. Someone's got to be there to protect them. And obviously the parents can't because they both have jobs. But things got to change. To the parents, I'll say this. You can't rely on the schools anymore. All right, we're almost done here. We got like 4 or 5 more stories. We'll get through these quickly. Yeah, so NYPD apprehends gunman John Rowe, 43, who shot at homeless robber who attacked a woman inside the subway. Suspect arrested at his desk at his New York City job office or New York City office job after friend tipped off the cops. So yeah, he got ratted out by some loser. Imagine, look at this. This guy right here who's being arrested, he saved the life of a woman. A lot of women down in that subway have been thrown in front of the train tracks, have been raped, have been beat up, all this horrible stuff. And he said, get the F away from her. He protected this woman. And she basically rebuked him. She said she would have rather he not do that. I got this post here from Cernovich. And he's responding to this story. Woman threatened by homeless would-be mugger wishes the hero vigilante gunman didn't fire his weapon. Cernovich writes, there are posts from me on Twitter. Oh, he calls it X, but it's Twitter. With millions of views and 100,000 plus replies, basically of men calling me dishonorable or a pussy for saying that you shouldn't intervene in these situations as the woman you think you're saving all hate you. Cernovich vindicated again and again. You know, given what I used to do, I was all about protecting innocent life. And I'm just saying how fucking thankless this country is towards like veterans who do honorable work, towards the police, towards this vigilante guy. And I remember a long time ago, I got into this debate on Discord with somebody because I was like, yeah, if something's happening to some woman, you know, some shit's going down, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to walk away. I don't want to be involved. And me and this guy who I used to be good friends with, we got into a screaming match. We were yelling at each other so loudly. I remember my mom was over. She's like, oh my God, who are you talking to? Are you okay? I was like, this fucking idiot. You know, he's calling me all these names. He's calling me a coward. Dude, I'm not a fucking coward, man. You know, I grew up rough. You know, my dad stepped out, was drug use in the home. You know, like I've been through some stuff, man. And we talked about this earlier on the show about people just not wanting to sign up to defend this country because what this country does to people like myself. Now let's just forget about the regime, but like on an individual level, I've served my community. I've fought for this community. And I generally love humanity and I am pro-peace. But I saw so many people celebrate violence against guys like me. It hurts my heart. It really does. Because I do see myself as a good guy who's never wronged people. I don't fuck people over. I never physically hurt anyone. I might have hurt people's feelings because I'm an asshole and I make a lot of jokes, but like I'm not a bad dude. And to see people laugh and cheer on innocent Trump supporters wearing MAGA hats get beat up, it pisses me off. To see people wish harm against people like myself, it pisses me off. To see innocent Americans like Kyle Rittenhouse or this vigilante or any other individual who is in a self-defense situation just get their lives completely ruined. It signals to me it's a fool's errand to get involved. There's no point. And there's so many videos of women being victimized by these disgusting, creepy military-aged males being imported into this country, sexually assaulting them. And when people complain, I'm like, well, how did you guys vote? Because I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. I spoke out against it and I was called all these awful things. You brought this on yourself. So to these young, able-bodied men who got their stuff together, who are valuable in some way, who got a future, don't risk your life. Look at this. Woman threatened by homeless man, homeless would-be mugger, wishes the hero vigilante gunman didn't fire his weapon. Let me tell you something right now. If some fucking piece of shit was threatening my mother, he's going to hurt her, he's going to steal from her, and then this dude comes out of nowhere. He's like, get the fuck away from that woman. I would be so thankful it's beyond words. And then here's this photo with some piece of shit pig carrying this would-be vigilante. He's looking down in shame, probably full of regret. What's the point, man? What's the point? There's just no point in doing this anymore. And I was called a coward. Much like Cernovich was called. I remember Cernovich making those posts. People were saying the most horrific things you can say to a man. And he took it like a champ. And by the way, he's got kids and he's married. I know what that's like. Because I was bombarded with the most hateful shit. Because I'm just like, fuck it. You know, someone asked me. it was actually like a conservative Republican type group. And they're like, if America's being invaded by like the Russians, what would you do? Nothing. The Russians didn't prevent me from spending time with my grandfather as he was dying from illness. The Russians never took my constitutional and human rights. The Russians didn't celebrate and dance on innocent people getting beat up or even murdered or carjacked, all of which happened to people like myself who supported President Trump. I got no problems with Russians. No Russian ever called me Goy. They never called me Goyim. No Russian ever called me an infidel. It's like, well, what if you were drafted or forced to, fight against them? Well, then I guess I would go on a suicide mission. I would get like all this like dope ass like military gear. I'd get like 3 or 4 of my good buddies. I'm like, yo guys, here's the plan. And then we're going to just meander on over to the Russian side and we're going to surrender and be like, hey, you guys want all this cool shit? By the way, this is where they're at. This is where they're all hiding. This is where all the generals and shit are at. Fuck this country. You guys want to promote and celebrate violence against my people? Don't expect guys like me who are honorable to defend it. It's like, I don't consider myself a conservative. There's nothing worth conserving here. What's there worth conserving? Termination of infants, little children, pornography, prostitution. Basically, that's what OnlyFans is. Pedophile Hollywood. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. None of that is worth fighting for or dying for. If I can even prevent one person from joining the military and sacrificing and dying for Israel, I would secure a place in heaven. That country's not worth fighting for or dying for. They spy on our government. They spy on our elected officials. I got no problem against Israeli people. I think a lot of them are wonderful and beautiful. And they look beautiful too. I've seen the women, But don't expect me to fight on behalf of your government or your people. Because I got nothing to do with it. And none of these young men and women do. Today's military, I'm going to read some of these comments here. Today's military is nothing like it used to be. Even just 10 years ago. Part of me thinks that's the purpose. To cow us from defending each other. Yeah, probably, man. Probably. That's a fact. I was watching a video of a vet crying his eyes out because he has not. Oh, yeah, I read that already. There's this really popular, a really, really great camera store that I go to. They sell audio equipment, but mostly camera and video gear. And there was this veteran that was helping me out. I needed something super duper specific. And this guy spent like 30, 40 minutes helping me out. And we got talking, and, he was a fucking veteran and shit. He was just an honorable man. And he's much older than myself. Dude, guys like that just won't exist in the future. When those guys are gone, if you're a piece of shit, God help you, man. Because I ain't going to do it. Guys like me ain't going to do it. And, guys like that veteran, they're going to be gone, man. They're going to be too old to do anything. Or they're just going to die because they're old. I was super thankful. I left like the most glowing review of this company. And I was like, yeah, that guy, he took care of me. That guy actually gave a shit. And he was really proud of his service too. He probably wouldn't agree with a lot of the things I say about the military. But again, I'm against what the military does to these young men. I'm but I'm pro-veteran, I'm pro-troop. And I lost good friends to the bullshit scam war. It's like, how can I support any of this stuff when I witness stuff like that, man? Yeah, look at this. This fucking piece of shit junkie. Gonna victimize another. Like this guy with the gun, the vigilante, he probably believes she was in legitimate danger. He probably reads the news. He's like, yeah, man, like 2-3 weeks ago, this elderly Asian woman was thrown in front of a train and she was squished. 4 or 5 months ago, this guy, he committed these horrible crimes and they let him go, and then he did it again and again. And he's like, I'm going to carry this and I'm going to protect everyone on that train. A thankless job. And even the victim punishes him. It's just not worth it, man. See, do we got any more crime stories? Oh no, this one's behind a fucking paywall. I forgot to archive this. All right, so we got to go into the finance stuff. Shit. I don't give up all hopes, brother. It'll get worse before it gets better. You know, you're probably right. You're probably right. Again, I don't live in New York. I'm divorced from a lot of that stuff. But, man, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little demoralized. I've just seen a lot of... people that I grew up with, college educated, relatively intelligent, and just relatively pleasant people. You know, pleasant, like legitimately pleasant. And then they just turn into monsters, man. They bought into the propaganda. They bought into the, even when I was like a little libtard, little libtard Democrat, little Bernie bro, I never espoused violence or hatred towards anybody because of what they believed. And it's just so like in vogue now to do. It's crazy. So if I can like just wake up just a few people and just prevent them from going down that path, my job here would be well worth it. It probably will get better, man. I mean, because we're at a really low point. I can only go up from here, I think. All right, so yeah, New Yorkers face skyrocketing costs to switch to electric heat under new green policies. Study finds. You know, I got into an argument, or not really an argument, but I had a disagreement with a popular YouTuber, Spite's Corner. He's a motorcycle enthusiast. He's a motorcycle YouTube content creator. I ride a motorcycle too. I'm about that life. And he was telling me that stuff like this wasn't happening. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's like first is like the electric vehicles. Everyone's gonna force to go electric. Then they're gonna take away your stove. They're gonna take away your microwave. All this gas stuff. And yeah. Once again, the regular American is bearing the cost. They're gonna. I'm just gonna read a couple sentences here. Let's say New York residents could face skyrocketing heating bills under the state's new green policies, which may not even have a significant impact on greenhouse gas emissions. A new study finds a review by the Empire Center for Public Policy says the state's new laws will push homeowners to buy expensive electrified heat pumps, while being forced to phase out their natural gas, oil, and propane systems. But even then, the new electrification policy could only have negligible impact on greenhouse emissions while burning up homeowners' wallets, according to the analysis, blah, 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 blah. I used to install solar panels. Like, legitimately, I'd go up on roofs, install the panels and everything, and, you know, do the electrical panel, the sub panel, really. And when customers would ask, they're like, hey man, like, do I, it's like, well, now that I got these solar panels, should I get like a water heater that's electric and, you know, electric washer and dryer? I would say no, absolutely not. In Nevada, in Las Vegas, where I live, natural gas is super duper cheap and it's actually relatively clean. It's not as harmful as the dorks say it is. Like, my gas bill is always like $17-12 to heat the house, to heat the water, you know, for the washer dryer. But when you go electricity, on the other hand, insanely expensive. My electricity bill throughout the summer, because I live in a home, I own my home, it's about $300 a month. Or like $270, $280, $250 a month during the summer. But I try to keep it off for as long as I can. The AC is what costs the most. Natural gas never cost me anything. There's a reason why the globalists, the internationalists want to get you to switch to electric, because they can monitor every aspect of your activity at home. And of course, they'll make more money, and they stomp out the competition. If a utility company is able to provide you with heating and cooling and all this other stuff without utilizing electricity, they're going to intervene and prevent you from saving money. They want you to be a little debt slave. They want you to not have money and to waste it on electricity when you really don't have to. Yeah, you're insane if you switch over to everything electric, especially when you get solar panels. Total insanity. I picked up pipe smoking, says Endel. It's a nice way to relax. No, you don't inhale. Yeah, I like to smoke cigarettes every now and then. I don't really buy cigarettes anymore. Like, I generally avoid it at all costs, you know, because it's obviously bad for you and shit. But it is relaxing. All right, so back to financial news. Tesla will sue you for $50,000 if you resell your Cybertruck within the first year. Really? Oh, I apologize for the formatting of the shitty website. Business Insider formats their website like dumbasses, so it's pretty difficult to do this. But yeah, can you, dude? Is this not a testament to what a joke electric vehicles are? You know, on the topic of electricity and electrical devices, dude, imagine having to sue someone, punish somebody for getting rid of their shitty electric vehicle before a year. It's a scam, guys. In a video game, of course. It's a scam. I can't read this. The formatting is garbage, but yeah. Avoid. This is what. Here's my pitch to regular Americans. People who are like, don't really care about politics and stuff. Like, look, if you vote for and support the Democrats, they will take your electric stove. They'll take your gas-powered stove. They'll take your gas-powered appliances. They'll take your gas-powered car. They'll force you with this garbage, this inferior garbage. It's going to cost you a fortune. And you'll remain in debt for the rest of your fucking life. Why get rid of cheap, proven energy where the infrastructure is already in place before there's a replacement that actually works? Climate tards can't answer that. No, they cannot answer that, Endel. They cannot answer that at all. Oh, man. The most misled people on the planet. All right, I think we got fashion news to get into. My teenage son says I'm too old to wear a bikini, but I don't care. I'll leave him with his grandmother while I go to the beach. All right, so for the audio-only listeners, she's kind of cute. I'll give her that. I don't know. I don't really see this as inappropriate. I think the little kid is being kind of a prude. Oh, never mind. Her ass is that ass was fat. I'll give him that. Yeah, maybe a one piece is more appropriate for this mother. But hashtag would. Hashtag would. Let me see. What are the people saying about this? The mom wrote, when you're teenage. Oh, he's a teenager, so he's like more aware. Yeah, what the fuck? Of course, dude. Yeah, you gotta think about your kid and like the bullies and shit. They're gonna make fun of him. The mom wrote, when your teenage son thinks he can tell you that you're too old for that bikini, she captioned the clip, haha, you're staying at nanny's, hashtag beach live over 30 club. The video was seen by more than 220,000 people, with viewers commenting on the clip to share their own opinions. One user joked, Stacy's mom has got it going on. Meanwhile, another wrote, bet all his mates insist on meeting at your house. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Like, all his mates are like, oi, Steve, let me meet your mom. I want to do a sleepover, but I'm going to sleep in her bed. You know, like, oh, dude, what a fucking horrible thing to put a kid through. I think it's more he doesn't want to see his mom like that, or other people to see his mom like that. Yes, exactly. Ashley replied, really good point. Maybe if he led with that as his opening argument, instead of telling me I was too old, he could have come to the beach. LOL. dude, you're the adult. You should just know better. Another said, you should tell him to tell his mates you're thinking of getting an OnlyFans, to which she questioned, what's that? Ugh. Someone else chimed in with, you have a teenage son, question mark? Betty feels like Will from the In-Betweeners, in reference to the main character from the Channel 4 sitcom having a very attractive mother. Dude, it's not her fault she's attractive, but you got to be a little bit more like tactful, in my opinion. Ashley replied, most of the time, he's now taller than me as well, alongside laughing emojis. Other viewers were quick to compliment the young mom, writing incredible, fabulous, go girl. But yeah, those people are dumb. You don't encourage this behavior. And Barry never looked so good. Another wrote, you look amazing, hun. Heart palpitations. You probably got the COVID's vaccine. That's why you got those palpitations going on. So yeah, let me see what you guys think. Okay, maybe she shouldn't have been a mother. Yeah. Like dude, there's a point where it's like you can't act like this when you have kids. Now that is a MILF. Dude, she is a MILF. I'll give her that. But saying that would just break the kid's heart. We can't do that. All right, hold up. We got Stadia Dispatch on YouTube. Writes a bit of hyperbole there, but valid points. Also, the restream chat looks broken. What the fuck? Is my chat broken? Dude, if it's broken, that's gonna piss me off. However, I'm seeing very little activity on the Restream app. All right, so what other fashion news do we got? I gotta update the fashion news sounder. I'm gonna do some voice acting. All right, so yeah, this one's actually kind of funny. Yeah, I spent $300K on plastic surgery. Renewing my driver's license is a huge hassle now. Talk about first world problems. I'm not gonna read this boring ass article because I don't really care what this woman has to say. First off, $300,000 is a lot of fucking money. Apparently, she was a former lawyer who altered her parents with $300,000 worth of plastic surgery. Alleges that government workers questioned her identity when she went to renew her driver's license. Stadia Dispatch, explain to me how what's going on with the chat. Hold on, let me see if I can see what I can do here. All right, let me do that. Let me do that. No, dude, I think the chat test. Oh, I just dropped my water bottle. No, I think the chat is working. Dude, honestly, everything is working. Only seeing YouTube comments. Dude, there are no comments because I'm fucking streaming on a Friday night. And like my viewers expect me on Tuesday. And now I'm streaming on all these new platforms and I'm doing all this different shit. So yeah, honestly, I don't think there's any other comments going on. So anyways, yeah, that's sad. Plastic surgery ruins a woman who don't need it. I agree, Linda. Dude, hold on. We're going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We only got 2 more stories left, guys, and we're done here. Yeah, so the woman on the left is the woman this year, in 2023. She looks stupid as hell. I know beauty's subjective, but like I look on the right, that's from 2018. Dude, very beautiful woman. Hashtag would buy her a drink. You know, all I will say is this. I can't, I've never, look, a lot of my guys, a lot of the fellas that I go out with, none of them have ever been like, you know what would make her look real good? More plastic surgery. Especially if it costs $300,000. That's just not a thing, dude. That's just not a thing at all. However, these tatas, oof. Oh my God, oh fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God, forgive me for looking at these images. Her face looks stupid. Look, she's great in every other regard, but like, why would you, dude, her facial features look more masculine than mine. Oh, let me read these. MTMG writes, I barely got here. MTMG, welcome on YouTube. Stadia Dispatch writes, I thought Restream pulled in all chats. Never mind. No, it does. But there's no activity on Twitch, on Kick, on Trovo, on dlive because it's all fucked. What I'm reading is from Rumble. Rumble chats don't show up in the thing. So I apologize for the confusion, everybody. So I try to be specific. So back onto Rumble. Deep breaths. Now that is a MILF. Okay, so maybe that she shouldn't have been a mother and blah blah. Okay, so that's that. She looked great before. Yeah, no, she did look great before. Yeah, she looked perfectly fine. All right, so we gotta move on to the next one. Yeah, this is a big no-no. Ladies, don't get plastic surgery. You don't need it. Ugh. What else do we got here? Greedy lottery. Now we gotta get into more female. We gotta get into more dating shit. This story is actually so funny, and I actually got something that's loosely related. I gotta tell you guys about it. Greedy lottery winner refusing to share money with girlfriend applauded. All right. So a lottery winner branded greedy by his girlfriend for not sharing his winnings has been praised online in a Reddit post on November 12th. Canadian user R Gun Jammed Up said he recently won $200,000 on the lottery. While the Redditor was initially thrilled with the win, his girlfriend soon demanded a substantial share of the jackpot. When I shared the news with my girlfriend, she immediately started pressuring me to give her a substantial amount of the winnings. She argued that we had been together for a significant amount of time and that she had supported me throughout our relationship, the lottery winner said. The girlfriend wanted at least $150,000 in Canadian dollars, by the way, from the winnings, according to user R Gun Jammed Up. Despite my explanations, my girlfriend became increasingly angry and accused me of being selfish and greedy. She claimed I was prioritizing money over our relationship and that I should be willing to share my newfound wealth with her, the lottery winner continued. Feeling overwhelmed and hurt by her demands, I decided to end the relationship. I believe that her insistence on giving her the money was unfair and showed a lack of understanding and respect for my personal boundaries. She take my money when I'm in need. Oh, she a gold digger. Yeah, dude. Newsweek has contacted user R Gun Jammed Up for comment via Reddit. He has not replied. This reminds me of a fucking hilarious story. This is a true story. It's not love or relationship related. Hold on 1 second. I dropped my water. All right. So, where was I? Back in like 2011, 2010-ish era. I don't remember what year it was. It was a long time ago. If I were to get somebody a job, I personally would get $750 for recruiting them. So one of my buddies needed a job. Now I had good standing in this company, and I was kind of a big deal. Well, that's not true. I was a good enough employee to where people would listen to me if I said something. And I was like, hey, let's give my buddy Mikey a chance. Lack of better words. Mikey gets a job. After a couple months, I get $750 on top of my regular salary. Not the most money in the world, but during the Obama era, that was a lot of money to me. So I was out, and I was like, woo, we're fucking eating well. We're at Chili's or Applebee's or whatever. And I mentioned in passing, I got $750 for getting this guy the job. Mikey was like, why did you give me some of that money? Well, you didn't fucking do anything, bro. I got you a fucking job. Be thankful. We're still friends, by the way. He's a good kid. But he overstepped his fucking boundaries and he's being ungrateful. That's what this reminded me of. This story here of this greedy woman. And dude, guys, when you start making real money, people are going to come after you. That's why I'm a big proponent. Like a lot of like these young Gen Zers, a lot of these communists are like, everyone needs to talk about their wealth. Everyone needs to talk about how much they make. So, they can't take advantage of us. I think that's nefarious. I think the real reason why individuals want to know what your real salary is and how much money you have, how much money you make, is so they can take advantage of you. I don't tell anybody how much money I make. Not once. Because I know they'll fucking throw it in my face. They'll punish me for it. And my buddy Mikey was being a little shit about it. Just like this woman. Let me read some of this stuff. Oh, what? $150? Yeah, I know, right? $150,000. Dude, that's like legit greed. Like people talk about like, oh, we gotta like punish the rich. The corporations are greedy. They don't know what real greed is. This is legitimate greed. That Poo-Tang best be. I know, right? Yeah, dude. Well, obviously it wasn't because the guy left her. It wasn't that good. He can do better. let me see. Hold up. Stadia. I thought Restream pulled it up for the app that you have embedded. For the last one though, what would be worse is the mom did Disney trips, can't get. Oh God, Stadia dispatch. I disavow. Or they just expect stuff from you, especially women you're dating. They'll manipulate you. I know, bro. I know. Hang in there, man. You'll get out of it. All right. I think we got one more story, guys. Then we're going to call it a night. I streamed about 3 hours, which is a good time. And again, I'm making up for it for not being here on Tuesday. But again, it was against my will. You know, the anti-woke people came after me because I made fun of a shitty comic book. All right. So we got one more story left. The little video. We're going to react to this. And, oh my God, it's 12 fucking minutes? I don't remember this being 12 minutes. Hold on, what the fuck is this? Wrong way, came forward, counted, because I'm trying to get my ketamine. Join the party. Okay, hold up. Let's see if we can start in the middle and it'll make sense. Dude, this is way too fucking long. Let's do display speed. All right.
I was devastated for her and hated to see her like this, but, and I know this makes me sound like a terrible person. I don't blame her for John assaulting her, but I couldn't get the fact I tried more than once to dissuade her from going to the party, and specifically saying her being with John makes me uncomfortable out of my head. I feel I could have done more to protect her and she should have listened to how I felt. Important side note, turns out John is literal living garbage. After her assault, we both felt it was best to get justice. There were drugs in her system and all the physical indications of rape. We immediately filed a restraining order and the police opened an investigation. Within the span on a week after news had gotten around.
Yeah, it is annoying to listen to. I can't subjugate you guys to this. So what we'll do is we'll go over to X. Let's see. You folks on YouTube need to get to Rumble. Save YouTube for the how-to videos, which is what I do, by the way. The video library is growing all the time. I know, right? Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna be a part of that. I gotta get a hold of the guys on Rumble and have them help me port all my stuff to Rumble. But we'll see. Fuck, dude, I just dropped my wine bottle. Thank God it's empty. All right, so we gotta go to my bookmarks because the funnier shit's on the bookmarks. I'm not gonna subject people to listen to something for 12 fucking minutes. All right, this is actually kind of funny. All right, so the original poster writes, "I don't even know how to caption this. It's too early for this shit." And then a friend of the channel, Cool Hand James, writes, "Children are missing in Hatland. Women, how can I make this about me?" It's so fucking stupid. Holy fuck. Bring them home now. All right, I'm not laughing at the misfortune of the victims, but hold on one second. I gotta put chapstick on. My lips are chapped. See, what would you know about the Creative Society? What Creative Society are you talking about? Drangle 44 question mark. Okay. Let's see. Sadie Dispatch, or they just expect stuff from you. Okay, I already read that. Let's see. You folks on YouTube. Okay, hello, what the fuck? Wow. All right, so I'm gonna describe what I just witnessed to the audio only listeners who will be listening to this on Spotify. All right, so I'm gonna play this without audio. I can't subject you guys to this awful music. All right, so there's these beautiful women, literally hundreds of them doing yoga. They all appear to be white, if that matters to you. And when on the yoga mat are pictures of victims who were allegedly kidnapped by Hamas. So what I see is there's this world tragedy happening somewhere in the world, and obnoxious women are asking themselves, how can I make this about me? How can this be about myself? How can I promote my image? Okay, Drangel 444, look it up quick. Dude, I'm doing a stream. Why don't you just tell me what it is? I can't just abandon my stream to look up what the Creative Society is. First off, I'm a creative person myself. I'm a screenplay writer, a puppeteer maker, or a puppet maker. So, I also make content on the internet. So, yeah. That was in poor taste, almost as though it was made to make them look bad. I know, right? I don't think that was real. Dude, I think this is real. Trust me. Hold up. Okay, trust me, it'll be worth your stream. Dringle, dude, you gotta sell me on it more than just it'll be worth it. Because a lot of people tell me something will be worth it and it never is. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the bookmarks. What else do we got here before we clear out? All right, we already went over this. Oh man, this one's actually pretty good. Biden, I want fuck this. I'm not gonna read this. We're just gonna watch this. It's only 26 seconds long.
2 years ago, when the United States offered to host this summit, we knew we needed a location dynamic and diverse, and as APAC itself. And APAC in San Francisco, here we are.
Oh, what the fuck? Hold up.
2 years ago, and APAC in San Francisco, here we are. I want to talk about Governor Newsom. I want to thank him. He's been one hell of a governor, man. Matter of fact, he could do anything you want. He could have the job I'm looking for.
He can have the job I'm looking for. Oh, you Democrats that voted for this. Do you feel good about that vote, you bags of shit? Let me just say this. As someone who's worked for the Democrats, who's won elections, who knows how to win elections, I'll just say this. Gavin Newsom will not win a general election for the same reason Governor DeSantis will not win a general election. The Sun Belt is not the Rust Belt, and the West Coast is not the Rust Belt. Both of these governors are completely detached from the heartland of America. They're completely divorced from working class people. Now, I used to like DeSantis a lot, and he could have been the president. He could have been the president in 08. He could have been President Trump's vice president, but he fucked up. And he thought he could do better, and he thought he was better than everybody else, and now look at him. Governor Newsom does so poorly among the working class. If him and Biden were the only people running against each other in a Democratic primary, Biden would win. Gavin Newsom can't sell it. I don't care how fucking sexy people think Gavin Newsom is or looks. He's a cuck. He's pathetic. His politics sucks. California sucks. It's a failure of a state. If I were to leave California as Governor Newsom and I was out there trying to sell my brand, trying to sell them my politics, I would have nothing to show for it. But this video raises a lot of questions and a lot of concern. If Biden was being replaced by Governor Newsom, it would be disastrous for the Democratic Party, and it would assure that President Trump would 100% win the presidential election in 2024. Shame. Look it up when you're not on stream. Good luck. Thank you, Dringle. Again, you're not being specific. Dude, what if it's porn you're like leading me to, man? You gotta, like, I just, come on, man. It's Friday night. I got work tomorrow, so, you know, you just tell me to do shit, and it's worrisome. All right, let me read this. Let's see, what the fuck? That was in Porte. I don't think that was real. No, I think that video was real. It was 100% real. Oh, Joe, you goofy fuck you. I know, right? All right, so what else we got here? Oh, dude, this one's great. So Elon Musk, what he responded to was cropped out, but he said, "You have said the actual truth." This is legitimately the I verified this. This is the actual Elon Musk YouTube Twitter handle. And then this guy, What's Up Frank, says, "Dude, what are you talking about? What Jewish people are pushing hate towards whites?" And then a fellow greenskin, Frago Dupflip, writes, "Literally you," with a screenshot of, "Obviously you're a white privileged little shit from Rosedale who listened to Doc Dingle. Enjoy." Wow, that sounds pretty racist and hateful. What's up, Frank? What say you, bro? All right, let's continue. Oh, I can't watch this from Owen Benjamin. I'll get flagged. Victor She writes, "Holy shit. Univision, the nation's largest Spanish language network, has decided to cancel ad buys by the Biden campaign in Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Florida after Trump met with their executives last week. Our media continues to fail us. This is how our democracy dies." First off, if democracy dies, good. But this is fake news. What's happening is these Univision specifically has agreed to basically not air anti-Trump ads when Trump is speaking or when Trump is doing some special events. got owned. I know, right? All right, let's continue. What else we got here? New Jersey First Lady Tammy Murphy running to replace Bob Menendez in Senate. First off, I believe she will lose against Bob Menendez. Not only that, Governor Murphy looks derpy as shit. And two, he's not even that popular, and he barely won the governorship. Had President Trump and MAGA supported his opposition, they probably would have won. Governor Murphy almost lost. They didn't call his race immediately. I think it took days to call Governor Murphy's race because he sucks. He sucks dick. Democrats are fucking awful, especially in Jersey. Let's see. Ooh, Scott Adams post. All right, so someone wrote, I have begun to think that education was always supposed to be politicized. People supposed to think that education was always supposed to be politicized. People just forgot about this and ended up giving the keys to this hen house to the wolves, those who want to subvert the minds of impressionable children. Thus, we now have students cheering on Hamas. That's what it's kind of what we touched on earlier on the show. What do we got here? I was aggressively brainwashed. This is Scott Adams' reply. Scott Adams is very intelligent, even though sometimes he sucks. I was aggressively brainwashed as a kid. Almost all of you were as well. It is dangerous to not brainwash kids. I was brainwashed to love my country and capitalism and to hold the melting pot as a cherished goal. That software propelled America forward. Kids today are brainwashed into an oppressor/oppressor mindset that guarantees destruction. That's partly because the brainwashing of American kids has been delegated to China via TikTok. You can't say you didn't see it coming. It's obvious. Yeah. That's what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, not brainwashing kids. Just imagine. I mean, dude, why do you guys think? Why do you guys think educators want to divorce the kids from the parents? They want to keep the kids and the parent separate. A lot of when Biden and Joe Biden, the fake doctor, and a lot of these other dorks on the left, a lot of these activists, when they talk about kids, they'll say things like, we need to educate our kids. We need to protect our kids. We need to give our kids the right information so they don't become fascists or whatever bullshit. And I say to that, whoa. What do you mean? What's this our kids bullshit? They're not our kids. Those kids have parents. Those are their kids, not yours. And people got to call out the fucking Democratic Party, and they do this all the time. Damn, it's 12:30. I got to go. Indel, you have a good night, man. Great stream, dude. I'll spread the word. Thank you. Dude, I appreciate you. Much love, brother. God bless. Have a safe day at work tomorrow. And I will, man. I will. My work is pretty peaceful. So, yeah. This is a good post. All right, we're almost done here, you guys. There's not that much left. Fuck. Go back. Laura Loomer, I'm not gonna watch this. Basically, a bunch of people cheering on Trump at the Republican debates. The Republican debates is old news. Let's watch something pretty funny right here.
Dane, she really was gorgeous. She was very pretty. Trump is ahead. Nice. I don't want. How old are you?
All right, so this looks like a tiny child holding a bong and exhaling. Actually, I can't fucking hold. I can't watch. I can't show this, you guys. I apologize. I'm moving on. Vivek. Nikki Haley writes, Vivek, I wear heels. They're not for fashion. They're not a fashion statement. They're for ammunition. Nikki Haley just winning the Cringe Awards. Let's see. Anime New York City. As a military partner at Anime New York City 2023, the United States Marine Corps invites you to see what drives Marines. Stop by booth, blah, 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 to compete in our battle dome. And let's talk about what it takes to become a Marine. So basically, the Marines are trying to recruit weebs. Yellow Kazoo, a friend of the channel, she writes, do y'all really think the type of person who goes to an Anime New York City convention, Anime New York City, an anime convention is going to be the type of person who is able to join, shoot a gun, kill the enemy, or do anything Marines need to do? Y'all, I've been to an anime con before, and the answer is no. Yeah, so have I. Again, much love to anime enjoyers. You guys aren't bad people, but this just goes to show how desperate the military is. They're looking at weebs like, look, you guys might be our last hope. Let's see, Daniel Byron. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Conservatives are incapable of producing good art because they lack empathy, which means they are incapable of creating anything which communicates to a large audience. When they try to produce art, they only end up producing clumsy in-group signaling. Minorly true, but most of this is bullshit. Conservatives are just incapable of producing art. That's going to be for a topic for another time. Conservatives are generally better people. They're good folk. And many of them are capable of telling good stories, really telling great narratives. Unfortunately, when it translates to film, they can't do it for a number of reasons. We're not going to get into it yet. Eric July lawsuit update. First notice of motion and motion to extend time to file answer to December 4th, 2023. Yeah, good. Fuck Eric July. I hope they sue him for everything. Let's see. Dick Masterson basically mocking the Ripitards. So he's responding and laughing to this image from Iridi. Ask yourself, who is to blame for that? It's not Eric. It's not the fans. We were minding our own business, enjoying our comic, and losers like Dick and Vito have ran nearly a year-long harassment campaign against us. Badgering is in the thread, sending their viewers to ask us that question over and over. So yeah, it strikes a raw chord with people, and that is Eric's point. 99% of the people asking aren't doing for the reasons you are, and it has worn us down to hostility. It sucks for you, but what else do you expect? All right, so I'll just say that this is the last one. So I'll just say this about the Eric July drama. We're coming full circle now. We're about to end the show. But Eric July, his art is awful. His comic book is awful. It's called communism. These are the tactics. Oh, yeah, I know. But let me just say, look. I feel bad kind of talking about this now. Now, I've had some time to cool off. I've had some time to think. And it's like, like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, like a lot of these people, like, we have the same worldview. We hold the same opinions. I apologize. I'm misspeaking. And I'm anti-woke, right? I don't care about this woke shit. I think it's stupid. But I hate dishonesty, and I hate fleecing people and taking their money under false pretenses. And that's what, what Eric July not really did, but he's selling this comic book, and the comic book sucks. Granted, the fans seem to like it because they like Eric, and that's fine. But the whole point of asking, what is your favorite part about ISOM? That's the question that this tweet is referencing. What is your favorite part about ISOM? And it's meant for people like Tim Pool, by Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, by Nina Stupidity, so on and so forth. The Star Wars girl. What is your favorite part about ISOM? Not a single one of them can answer that question. Many of whom never read the book. And if they did, they never talked about it on their streams. They never made a video about it because ISOM sucks. It is a bad comic book. It is poorly written. As somebody who writes screenplay and is writing a book, it was poorly written. Exposition just goes overboard. It's just bad. It's just bad. And the reason why it's so important to ask, what is your favorite part of ISOM to the anti-woke culture crew, is because their whole existence, their whole career on the platforms, on the video platforms, is basically to criticize Disney and Marvel. And that's perfectly fine. Disney and Marvel suck dick. Like, I get it. They're awful. But why don't you extend that courtesy to your boy, Eric July? The only person that's been honest about the whole ISOM drama is Nick Rekieta. He said he likes Eric July. He thinks he's a good dude. And he doesn't give a fuck if the comic book sucks ass. He's going to support it anyways because Eric July is his friend. Nothing but respect. I can respect that answer. But when you got these nerds like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker or Thinker or whatever the fuck he goes by, and they're basically saying, they bully people like Brie Larson and Rachel Ziegler, and they have all these things to say about the Hunger Games and Snow White and wokeness and all this stuff. Their whole job is making fun of really bad comic books. Why can't you extend that courtesy to ISOM? If you were to just say, we're not reading the book and we're not talking about the book because we support Eric no matter what, that'd be one thing. But nobody can admit that this thing sucks. And the only reason why the ISOM drama has continued for, I guess, nearly a year is because of their reaction to people like Dick Masterson and Vito Giswaldi. And the whole point of making fun of ISOM, it wasn't about attacking anti-wokeness or calling out a specific grifter. It was to make fun of Vito Giswaldi. Vito Giswaldi came off as a jealous, bitter nerd against Eric July. And Vito was right. ISOM sucks. Eric July is morally bankrupt, and he's fleecing his viewers, allegedly. And he stole seemingly the intellectual property of an actual church. And the response to the accusations that have been lobbied against him is to basically say that the church is comprised of people who aren't even real Christians. And to have his users, his fans, his supporters, his beta orbiters to flood that church with negative reviews. One thing you'll never catch me doing is besmirching any house of God. One thing I don't like about the culture warrior cucks, one of them being Melanie Mack. Again, I believe in God. I pray. Melanie Mack was reporting on a story. She did a video on this, and I guess the church was woke and stupid and all this shit, and it burned down. And she's on video cheering and laughing and being very giddy about this church burning to the ground. There could have been innocent people in that church. Regardless of the people preaching the word of God, that is still a house of God. And these people were celebrating it burning down. And they want to act like they're better than people like me. They file false DMCA claims against people like me. They report my channel. They had me delete all my fucking live streams. Some of those streams I did with like friends of mine that I was really close with. And they're fucking gone. Eric July is a racist and a bigot. And he espouses his bigotry and racism on live streams. Calls people the N-word. He makes heinous comments against rainbow people. But I'm a fucking bad guy because I say ISOM sucks, which it objectively does. Y'all ain't better than me. And as much as I can't stand wokeness and the modern left, y'all ain't that different either. You follow false DMCA claims, you engage in the exact same censorship. I'm the real fucking deal, man. I ain't a fucking snitch. I ain't a bitch. I'm not going to go out of my way to report any of these dumbasses, but if you want my undivided attention, you're going to fucking get it and you will regret it. I started asking about Critical Drinker's books, but you can call Catholics, popes, a globalist, commie, because it's true. It is true, Stadia. It's absolutely true. Let me read some of this. You gotta follow because you are anti-woke. Good work. Thank you, man. I can't stand wokeness. And because being anti-woke doesn't mean you have to be anti-people. It doesn't mean you have to be pro-hate. But those anti-woke culture warriors, they do legitimately hate people. And they do promote violence. And they celebrate destruction. And they don't care if innocent people get hurt. Like literally. This is literally happening. Like I'm not imagining this. Like Melanie Mack is fucking dumb. She's a dumb woman. Probably shouldn't have said that. Now they're gonna go all uppity about it because I'm calling them out for what they are. They're mean people. They're nasty. They're bullies. And then they expect to be taken seriously because they have a large following, and they're like, oh, why does Hollywood ignore us? Probably because you guys are jerks. You guys are mean. Like Dick Masterson is a prolific troll. And the guy's ruthless. And I understand people, hesitancy, dealing with him, but he's not wrong in calling those people out. And like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, I know I mentioned, but he's probably the nicest dude out of all of them. Probably not a bad guy at all. A lot of the handful of those people are probably decent folk, but fuck, man, do better. One thing you won't catch me doing is engaging in bullying and shit. and doing nasty stuff like that. I'm not gonna do it. But I've been held accountable for things I didn't do. I expect them to be held accountable for the things that they do. Like, you're not supposed to celebrate and promote, violence and stuff, but they do, and they get away with it. Eric July says racist shit, and he threatened to fucking kill Riley. He threatened to fucking shoot somebody over a fucking joke, over a meme, because people make fun of his stupid comic book. Dude, I can't wait to finish my book. It's going to be on Audible. It's not going to cost that much money. I'm going to fucking crush it. It's going to be light years better than anything those idiots can ever write. I never heard of these people. I have watched Rekieta Law. Yeah, Rekieta Law is good friends with Eric July. Eric July is like an anti-woke culture warrior guy. But Eric July, he is an artist, though. He is talented. He was in this band called Backwards. I like alternative rock, punk rock, emo rock, whatever you want to call it. And he's legitimately talented. And he did this massive fundraising campaign to sell this comic book. And the comic book ended up making like millions of dollars. Eric July became a millionaire. And I think that's great. I'm not jealous. People want to say like I'm jealous and stuff. Like, no, I want independent artists to make money and to be successful. But the comic book wasn't good. And when people were like, hey, this is kind of bad, and people were making fun of it, they expect people like myself or Dick Masterson or whatever to just fall in line because our political opinions are vaguely aligned. And that's just not how I operate. If I was Eric July, I would take all the criticism and make the next issue of the comic better. But it only got worse. And then, of course, he violated a church's copyright. And instead of resolving it like an adult, that church is being threatened. Those people are being doxxed. Well, I don't know about doxxed, but they're having these horrible reviews written about them. And Eric July's just a bad dude. Those people are bad. All these anti-woke dorks. And then, of course, they reported my Discord community and said there's all kinds of nefarious illegal stuff going on in my Discord channel. That's just not true at all. And again, like me and those dudes, like if I was hanging out with them, like having a beer or whatever, eating like chicken tenders and stuff, we'd be cool. There'd be no problems. But if you go against the orthodoxy, regardless if it's on the left or the right, off with your head. July is a grifter. He absolutely is. And same with Melanie Mack and all these other dorks. They want to hide behind their Christianity. They want to hide behind their bigotry and their animus against rainbow people. And again, like, dude, my content is for everybody. Regardless of who you are, where you are in the world, you can come and hang out, ask me whatever, and I'm going to be fucking straight up with you. Because I'm not about that hateful shit. And Eric July is a grifter. In my opinion, he's a legitimate grifter. And it's like, dude, how could he be like a fantastic musician, a great singer, like a genuine artist and write music, and then not be able to write a comic book? And even worse, when you're given legitimate advice, your go-to maneuver is to report people and file false DMCA claims and then threaten people with violence. He legitimately believes if someone shows up to troll him at his warehouse, he can shoot them because he operates in Texas. Unbelievable, man. And I just got back from a strike, a YouTube strike on my channel. I got 2 fucking strikes. And the only thing that they had in common was making fun of Eric July. And maybe Oliver Anthony. The Oliver Anthony thing could have gotten me in trouble. But by the way, those videos, those podcasts, those shows still exist in the audio-only version of these shows. Not a single one of them has been deleted. For the audio-only version, links in the description. So, with that being said, I am over 3 hours into the stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. We will be back Tuesday, as usual. I had to make up for it, so I'm going to do it here. And let me see what's going on Facebook really quick. You can hang out with me. Dude, I don't know how the fuck Facebook works. But I guess I got to leave a link to Facebook in the description. It should be there. So, yes, share it wherever. Again, to people on the right that are like a part of the anti-woke crowd. Again, like I'm anti-woke, but I mean, they've lost the plot. They've really lost the plot. Oh shit. All right, where's my Rumble chat? Jesus. All right. You seem legit. You seem legit. I don't like raptors. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, but like apparently I'm getting a lot of views and traction on Rumble. My usual viewers on the bigger platforms, they unfortunately didn't get to turn out for obvious reasons. But you can call the oh, I already read that. All right, so yeah. Whew, I need to eat something. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll be streaming on Tuesday. If you don't catch me, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless everybody. Thank you for being patient. Peace out. All right, let's go ahead and